Hey everybody, how's it going? Todd Spears here, and of course my partner Hurt Magnus over there. Welcome. This is going to be a webinar of our new club called Rank and Rent. Really what's led us to today, and we didn't really know we were going to be here exactly. Over the last 4.5 years, Herc and I have developed a lot of products and services for you guys. And it's all about finding a niche, building the site, ranking the site, and then renting the site. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that in print. We're going to show it to you again in a little bit. But that's kind of the cornerstone of what we've been doing over the last 4.5 years. And I don't think we really quite understood that at that time, but we do now. So we've put together this course to demonstrate the power of everything that we've learned over the past 4.5 years, building all of this software and mainly giving it to you guys to allow you to use them to build your empires and your agencies and your businesses. But with this course, we're going to show you exactly how we use this stuff in order to find, build, rank, and rent. And that's all you need to know. And that's why we're here today. And I'm super excited about this course. It's going to be our entire focus for the foreseeable future. And you guys are going to be the first ones to get a shot at coming in and hanging out with us and learning all there is to know. So I said I wouldn't be long, but again, I can't be more excited about today. And thank all you guys for being here. And I know you're going to learn some things. And I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Herc.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, guys, on the intro. I'll just kind of reiterate a little bit of what Todd said and the story of when we started working together till now. Literally what you're about to see, the RankAndRent.club, literally is all of our experience, all of our software, all of our knowledge put into one thing together. All the wins that we've had along the way, all the losses that we've had along the way, whether it be on the front end, whether it be in the course, whether it be in the software, whether it be in the back end of what the Rank and Rent Club is and how it works. Literally everything that we've learned has gone into this this new project, and there's still things that are coming to this that you guys don't even know about yet. But it's just going to be an amazing experience. So I'm going to yeah, I promised I wouldn't play guitar on the webinar. So I'm gonna turn off my camera, guys, and we're gonna get started. All right. How many of you, give me a 1 if you watched the video on the homepage of RankAndRent.club about why Rank and Rent? I just want to see, okay, where we're at, because I don't want to go crazy deep into that. Okay, so real quickly, guys, what is Rank and Rent? Like Todd just said, it's four fundamentals, right? It's finding the right keyword first. And keyword research, whether you're doing Rank and Rent, agency or affiliate or any type of marketing, keyword research in my career has come to become the place where you have to get it right first. If you get it wrong, it's a tough job from there on in. So we're gonna show you about that. We have a software for that. Next is building your site, okay? And in the Rank and Rent process, the next process is ranking your site, and then the fourth process is renting your site. So those are just the 4 cores of success with Rank and Rent. Find the keyword, build the website, rank the website, and then profit by renting the website. Okay, now why Rank and Rent? Why out of all the things that we've done did we choose to open this course on this model? And that's why I was asking you guys if you had watched that video, okay, versus like the other SEO models or the popular ones are like agencies and affiliate. And I've done them all. I've done AdSense, I've done an agency, I've done Rank and Rent. Number one, guys, it's easy, okay? And as compared to affiliate, it's way easier. Affiliate keywords are like, the best and the reviews and the bonus and stuff like that. You're competing against so many other websites. In an agency, it's equally as easy, but the problem with an agency is that you're limited to their service, but Rank and Rent is wide open. You can choose any service and you can choose any location, and because it's a local based keyword, it's easy. Okay, next, why Rank and Rent? It is profitable. If you guys get these sites ranked and you start getting phone calls on them, those phone calls are very, very valuable to businesses. So you can turn around, sell the leads, rent the site out, okay, you can make money. Whereas with an agency, it's like, well, you got to get that sales process where you're like, listen, give me money now and we'll get you a result later. Whereas Rank and Rent, you're like, look, I've already got the result. Let's flip the switch, right? Affiliate's profitable too, but it's a lot harder. The three bullet here, it's stress-free, and I can't emphasize this enough for anybody that's trying to learn search engine optimization, whether they want to be in Rank and Rent agency or an affiliate. I'll tell you this, guys, Rank and Rent is so stress-free because when you're out there learning how to do keyword research, learning how to build sites, learning how to rank them, okay, there's no stress in that, because if the site doesn't work at any point along the way, it doesn't matter to anybody but you. And you're the only point of stress. In an agency, the minute you get a client, it is on. The stress is on. Affiliates, not as stressful because nobody's breathing down your neck. But once again, it's stressful to put a lot of work into something and not see a result really, really quickly. So it's a little more stressful. And then it's a foundation. Okay, Rank and Rent is a great foundation for people that want to get into this market, the SEO market. Okay, because if you learn the fundamentals of SEO in a stress-free environment where if you get things right, it becomes profitable, okay, you can then easily move into an agency scenario because you understand the core concepts of SEO and you understand you can get a result. And even if you wanted to go affiliate later on, the core fundamentals don't change, right? Whether it's Rank and Rent, agency, or affiliate, those core fundamentals are the same. Just with affiliate, you just have to be better at them. So why not practice and hone your SEO skills in a situation where it's easy and it's profitable and it's stress-free? And then if you get good at it, well, then you can move on. The last point I'll make about this, because I know you guys watched the video, is that if you do a Rank and Rent property and you rent it out to a client and they're happy, you can easily say to that client, listen, I could do the SEO for your site too. I targeted you because you were on page 2. But I got to page 1. You obviously already know what I'm doing. You know that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so that person will like you because you're getting them results. They'll trust you. They'll look at you as an authority. So adding them to an SEO agency after you've done a Rank and Rent sale with them is super easy. You just say, look, I'll do SEO for your site. We'll get my site ranked and your site ranked number 1 and 2, or in the top 3, or both on the first page. We'll double your traffic. We'll double your calls. So it's an easy way to get into agency versus just trying to be an agency right out of the gate. Okay, so that's why I love Rank and Rent. That's why we're going to focus on the Rank and Rent model. I just think it's the absolute best model of all. So next I want to show you guys 4 case studies. Okay, and hopefully a lot of you have seen these already, but I just want to cover them again. Pool resurfacing was the first site I ever built on a live guide. Okay. Spray foam insulation is the one that Todd was talking about in the intro, where we did it live for our webinar. And then there's 2 new ones that I've been building as case studies for this site. So let's go take a look, okay, at these case studies. And I sent you guys this document, and hopefully you've already seen it. Give me a 1 if you've seen this document already. Give me a 2 if you have not. And I'm going to go over this very, very quick. Okay, awesome. You guys are on top of shit. So it's pretty simple, guys. Okay, 4 Rank and Rent case studies. Number 1, pool resurfacing Phoenix. Okay, the site I built on the Rank and Rent guide, registered in 2015. Okay, and these are today's rankings. I'm gonna try and zoom in here a bit. Okay, you can see the date here, January 24th, 2020, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And you can see the search volumes of these keywords, 51, 70, 40, 50. So it's ranking for a ton of shit, right? On a 5-year-old site that I put out in public. And it's amazing to me that nobody has done the shitty thing that people do when you do live case studies and somehow done negative SEO or on the site or something like that. It's still there, right? Which is amazing. Now, the potential client revenue for this site, I call it the NVPS, the niche value per sale. Inside of the Rank and Rent members area, you got access to a calculator where you can calculate the NVPS and the profitability of a site. But a pool resurfacing, okay, you have to kind of get an understanding of how much will that cost, right? If I had a pool and I called a pool resurfacing company, I would say how much, for my pool, I'd give them a size and depth, and it would depend. It would depend on what they needed to get resurfaced, the materials they use, the size of their pool, a lot of stuff. But it's around $2,000 to $10,000 once again, depending on the size of the job. And we're going to take an average of $500. So we'll look at the potential rental value. This is the calculator that you guys have access to. It's just an image of it. But you can see the main keyword search volume. I have keyword search volume 2 and keyword search volume 3 in here of 170, 170, and 50, which means I'm probably getting a total monthly search volume, a maximum of 390 with those 3 keywords. But remember, I'm ranking for a lot more. We're just trying to get an idea here. right? So then the next is the potential traffic with those 3 keywords at 1, 2, or 3 ranges from around 124 visits a month to 70 visits a month based on those keywords. Now, if we could convert the visitors on our website to 20% phone calls, that means I could send a business anywhere from 14 to 25 calls. Pretty simple, right? And those are all metrics you can control. You could target more keywords. You can target higher volume keywords. You can work on the call conversion of your site by moving the call conversions higher, making them bigger, right? Those are all metrics you can control. But the metric that you can't control is once you make your customer's phone ring, you can't control how good their sales team is, right? You can't control that. You can talk to them about it. You can make them aware of the fact that your job is to send them calls. Their job is to close those calls. You're going to send them very targeted leads, right? But it's their job. So we're going to keep that 20%. If they can close 1 in 5 phone calls, that means this would result in around maybe 2 to 5 new jobs booked per month and an average profit per job of around 5,000, once again, depending on the size of the job, meaning we could bring them anywhere from 15 to 25,000 in new revenue every month if all these statistics are the same. Now, this isn't 100% accurate, guys. You just need an estimation. You need an estimation when you're building a rank and rent site to say, is this even worth my time building? Okay. So then this percentage of sales cost is kind of like their margin. They obviously, if you're bringing them 25 grand in new business, it costs them money to do that business. And if you're willing to take 5%, if you take 5% of the new business that you sell them, the potential value of the site is between $700 and $1,250 per month with all these metrics in place, okay? So you guys saw that. Next site, Spray Foam Insulation Edmonton, the one that we built back in 2016, you can see was registered here late in 2015. Today's rankings, okay, Spray Foam Insulation Edmonton, 260, 30, 30, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 10, 12. I haven't done much to this site in years, and it's still ranking. Those 2 examples, guys, are great for 2 reasons. Well, 2 sites, 1 reason. They're old. They're old. Does Rank and Rent still work? Well, these sites are both 5 years old, and they're still ranking extremely well to date, right? So I'm not going to go through all the other stuff. You know, the potential rental value is $560 to $990 per month, okay? You can go and see this guide later on. Now, these 2 sites, Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist, are brand new. Registered this one in 2019, 11/28 to prove the concept again. Does it still work today? Does it still work today? Well, yes, it does. And the difference between today and 5 years ago is, man, our tools are way better than they were. Our understanding is way better than it is, right? And the thing that's crazy about Google is the core fundamentals of local SEO really haven't changed all that much in 5 years. I'm still doing the same stuff. I'm just better at it today, right? So this site, okay, is only a few weeks old, like 4, 5, 6, I guess 2 months old now. Okay, and you can see the rankings, guys. January 24th, ranking number 17, 25, stuff like that for all these keywords, 320. The main keyword, obviously, Salt Lake Emergency Dentist right here, 320 search volume, ranking number 30. But January 27th, it's still moving up, right? And I've built 2 links to this site, just so you guys know. 2 links, PBN links, okay? So the other really nice thing about this site, Salt Lake City Emergency Dental, is this is CallRail, okay? This is who I use to track phone calls on the site. And look at this, guys. Okay, this is real shit I'm showing you. Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist is getting phone calls already, okay? We've had 15 calls in the last month to an emergency dentist, right? And these 2 people, this one, I can't play the messages for you on the, I could try and play the message for you on the webinar and see if you can hear it. I'll just turn my screen up. Okay, I'll play this and I'll turn myself up.
Hi, my name is Christina Sabater. I'm going to be in Salt Lake today, I guess, around 11 a.m. through the following day at around 1 p.m. I'm a full light attendant, so I'm in town for a layover. I have a really bad toothache though, and a cracked filling. Wondering if I could be seen at all today. My phone number is 56.
So you get the idea, right? These are messages, okay, that people have left on the phone, because I send, what I do with my calls is I don't just have them go nowhere. I forward them to voicemail when the site's not rented. And the reason I forward them to voicemail is because I want to hear these recordings. I want to hear the quality of the leads. And if I was to go start selling this site, I want to be able to show this data and let the renter listen to these calls and hear what kind of stuff is coming in. So all calls get forwarded for me to voicemail. Okay, so this is real live proof, guys, that a brand new site is already generating phone calls in an emergency dentist niche. And how much do you guys think, okay, the niche value per sale is how much money would a dentist charge a client for an emergency dentist situation? What do you guys think? How much is each sale worth to this emergency dentist in Salt Lake City? Just throw out some numbers and I'll say what you guys got. Bob says 500 bucks plus. And $700, 4,000, 250, 500 to 1,000. Yeah, 300 to 500. It depends, right? It depends on the severity. Maybe somebody smashed 5 teeth. Maybe they have 1 cracked tooth. This lady, okay, this phone call was actually a it was actually a flight attendant from Florida who was flying a leg into Salt Lake City. So you can see West Palm Beach, Florida is where she called from. And the voicemail kind of went like this. Hey, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City today and I have a cracked tooth and it's really bothering me and I need to come in and see someone immediately. Okay, 48 seconds. So she wasn't even in Salt Lake City. She was in Florida looking for a Salt Lake City dentist. And she left a message saying, I'm going to be flying in and then I need to come see a dentist. This lady from Salt Lake City has a cracked molar and her nerve is exposed. And she needs to see a dentist because the pain in her mouth is outstandingly terrible, right? And to be honest, a side note, guys, I kind of feel bad that these poor people are calling this number and not getting anywhere with it, leaving a message. What I'll probably do is because of my, I feel bad for them, I'm just going to pick a dentist and I'm going to start forwarding the calls right away because I don't want these people to suffer because I'm building a rank and rent site. But it's awesome to know that it's working, right? A brand new site. So if we go back to this sheet here, okay. Yeah, Amy says she was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, there's that situation. If it was just a guy like cutting trees down or tree services, then I wouldn't care about it. But these people are in pain and I feel bad for them. So I'm going to send them to a dentist and maybe a dentist will feel the same way, but that might help me in my sales process. So typically though, guys, I will not sell a case study site because too many people have access to it. And it's not fair to sell those types of sites to a dentist because all kinds of weird shit could happen. But what I might do is offer this for sale to a dentist, explain the situation, give them a discount, and turn it into a positive, right? So the last one here quickly, guys, is Catering Stamford, Connecticut. Okay, this is the site that I built live on a webinar for you guys. It was a 3.5-hour webinar where I took you right from what do I even go after? How do I choose a niche? How do I choose the keywords? How do I tell if it's going to be easy to rank for or not? And then once I have it, how do I build the site and get it ranked? Okay, so you can see I registered that not on 2015, but right here, creation date 2019-12-2017. So let me update this 2019-12-27. Okay, so that updates for everybody. You can see there's actually 19 people on this document right now. Registered on that date, January 24th. Catering Stamford, Connecticut is our main keyword with 170 search volume, was already ranking number 10. That means page 1, right? Catering Stamford, Connecticut. But you guys can see this other keyword, Stamford Caterer or Stamford Catering, the shorter version. That's what I really want to rank for. Although this is the easier one, Catering Stamford, Connecticut, because it's a bit longer tail, but it's the same thing when you say Stamford Catering, except there's a lot more search volume. When I looked up this keyword, I don't even know if I did actually, but I can tell you from experience that this keyword was probably too competitive and I would have passed it by, right? I would have said, no, I don't want to get into that. But Catering Stamford, Connecticut, I'll get into that because it's still got 170 search volume and the competition was like a joke, right? And I want those quick wins and I want to teach you guys how to choose these niches and how to get quick wins like this, right? It's all about quick, but I definitely wanted to rank for the higher volume keywords. So January 24th, we were page 2, number 16 for the bigger keywords, page 1 for the main keyword. January 27th came along, Stamford Catering, number 9. Boom, the big keyword I was after hit page 1. The other keyword, everything's moving up. Once again, this site, guys, 2 PBN links. And I'm going to teach you guys all about PBN links in the full course, okay, and how we do this shit. So potential client revenue for catering, guys, once again, depends on the catering gig, right? Could be anywhere from 500 to 5,000. If it's bigger, it could be more. Very, very valuable, okay? Very easy to rank for, okay? So I'm going to get back into this presentation. So those are the 4 case studies, guys. And the reason I wanted to show them to you in this manner is like I said, the old sites, the pool resurfacing sites, the spray foam insulation sites, you know, it was an old strategy back in 2015, but it's still working today. And then the new sites, well, can you go out and do it again, Hurt? You know, do you really know what you're talking about? Can you go build them again? Yes, yes, we can. So now what I want to show you guys is a really cool passive selling trick using contact form 7. Okay, so how many people, give me a 1, hate selling? I hate getting on the phone. I don't really like talking to people, or I'm not comfortable with it, right? And you'd rather have a way to be able to sell your properties without really having to talk to anybody. Number 1, I'll recommend you start getting better at that, okay? But number 2, we have solutions for you. So this passive selling trick with contact form 7, let me show you what I've done. Okay, if we go over to our Pool Resurfacing Phoenix site and we have the contact form, right? You can see I've edited the contact form to make it look like this. So they give us their contact info, your name, your email, your phone. Everything is required, by the way. If you don't give me all your detail, okay, then you're not going to get anything. Basic details about your request, all the suburbs that we're targeting, what type of service you want, and then a brief description of your product. Okay, nothing crazy there, right? Nothing too new there. Here's where it gets interesting. Pool Resurfacing Phoenix. If I go into the editor, right, and we have a site that's ranking like Pool Resurfacing Phoenix is, and we're getting contact form submissions, right? Well, just like we want, when we go into a selling process, what we want to do is target someone, right? You would go to Google, type in Pool Resurfacing Phoenix, and maybe go to page 2 and find someone that's ranking on page 2, right? And target them. We would go find their email address, but in this form, what you do under the mail settings is I send a copy to myself, and I also forward a copy to that person, right? And then the from name is the person who fills out the name. The subject says drop 96. I'll show you what this email looks like in a second. Okay, and then in the message body, it says, please contact this individual to chat about their pool needs. Okay, you know, Jojo with this phone number in Phoenix needs a pool resurfacing for a whatever custom message. And then at the bottom, it says this lead was sent to you from Herc Magnus via poolresurfacing.com. This site is ranking in Google for many keywords and is currently available for takeover by a company like yours. For proof, see our rankings right here, and I link them to an image of our rankings, right? And we have selected you as a possible candidate to receive these leads. Please contact me to discuss continuing to receive these leads, as well as phone calls that the website generate. And also please contact me if you wish to stop receiving the leads immediately. Now, what happens is when someone goes to that form and fills it out, so let's do this, right? Jojo, their email is jojo@jojo.com. Their phone number is 789-789-7897, right? And they are in Mesa and they need a custom build. Want a badass pool in my yard. Okay, so they would fill out the messages like this. They would prove they're real, what's 1 + 4, and then click send. So this is what the user who's searched Pool Resurfacing Phoenix and comes to the contact form. Your email's been successfully sent. Thanks. Now, let's look at what I get, just so you guys can see it. I'm going to open up my email. So now I own the site, obviously, right? So I want a copy of what was sent. Okay, so I own the site and I get this email, custom build in Mesa, right? Jojo filled out a form for a custom build in Mesa. But the business owner that I'm targeting also gets this same form. Please contact this. See, it comes to me and it goes to the person that I'm targeting. I set it up to forward to them. Please contact this individual to chat about their pool needs. Jojo with this phone number, a custom build in Mesa, Arizona. I want a badass pool in my yard. And then information for the business that I'm targeting about, they're going to be like, what? First of all, the subject line and the email that they're going to receive. Custom build in Mesa. A pool company is going to open that email, okay, because it looks super real just from the subject and the from. It's the person's real name and it's literally what they want. They want a custom build in Mesa. Then they open it up and it's like, please contact this individual. They get all the lead details right away. And then they're like, what the F is going on here? And then they read this. So what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go check out the site. They're going to go check out the rankings. And you're just building up curiosity in them. You're making them scratch their heads. You're making them think, right? So you get a copy of this so you know, they get a copy of that so you know. And then you sit and wait. You sit and wait if that's how you want to do things. If you're a passive seller and I don't want to contact people, well, let your form do the sales for you, because you're sending them the lead and you're telling them why the lead is sent. It looks real. It acts real. It's a perfect way to do passive selling. If you really want to go after them, you could overlay their site on yours using local supremacy. And that's what I'm going to show you next, okay? Another passive selling method. So catering Stamford, Connecticut. So let me start closing some tabs here. Okay, catering Stamford, Connecticut. This is the site we built live on the webinar. You guys are all used to that, right? You've seen it. Well, let's look at what the homepage looks like. Right now, it doesn't look like catering Stamford, Connecticut. It looks like Dinosaur Barbecue. Why? Because let's say I wanted to target Dinosaur Barbecue with my amazing rankings on catering Stamford, Connecticut. I went and chose them as a target that I'd like to, and I overlaid their site onto mine. Now I can set up that lead form, right, and have them go check out my website. But when they arrive on my website, they see their website and they're like, they've never seen this shit before. They're like, what the hell is going on? And they're going to go back to that lead form, and they're going to be like, I need to contact this guy to see what's up, right? So if you wanted to take it another step further, overlay their site, target them and overlay their site right away to just get their mind bending. And like, they haven't seen this kind of stuff before. Option 2, hanger for rent sign. This is also local supremacy, right? This website is for rent. Okay, so Jojo was the guy that needed his pool fixed, but maybe what we do is instead we hang a for rent sign, and the guy that owned the site, his name is Gary. Okay, so Gary's gonna leave. He's like, this website's for rent. Well, what's this all about? So Gary at GaryGary.com, phone number 787, and then his website. So let's go find a catering site in Stamford, Connecticut. This guy. Okay, so what was his name? Gary at Gary, doesn't matter. Okay, this would be him filling in the info, and then his website. There we go. Show me how it works. Your 5-minute demo starts now. And what happens? He arrives on your catering site. Boom. His site loads, says looking good, Gary. Click here to get all the details. Send them to a sales page, send them to a PayPal subscription, send them to your phone. Right? The whole idea behind all this, guys, is a different methodology of selling. Impress people right up front with the technology and the rankings that you have. Make them curious, prove to them before you ever talk to them how good you are. And you can do that in multiple different ways, right? So there's a couple passive selling tricks, okay, with contact form 7 and local supremacy. So RankAndRent.club, guys, this is not, my vision for this is that it's not just a course. It's not something you buy and you read it and you implement it, and then, you know, something cool comes along and you go do it. It's a community. What I want it to be is a community, guys. And everything I've done and the way I've built the site and every facet of my brain is saying, I want you guys to feel like you belong to a club of people who are here to do this together, learn from each other, help each other, succeed together. And that includes me, right? I'm focusing my other side of the business back to Rank and Rent. I dropped the Rank and Rent model when I met Todd because I wanted to focus on software, and we've done that for 5 years now. And our software is running good, right? And it's damn good for Rank and Rent. And this is kind of the realization that Todd was talking about later on that we were talking, we both had it at the same time. It's like, dude, we should just, all our software is so perfect for Rank and Rent. Let's put the Rank and Rent shit back out there. And then I've hired 2 people that are helping me do this. My wife has come back to work, and then she hired her friend, and we have another person who are out there now helping me build Rank and Rent sites. So it's not just going to be you on your own with a course that you read in the middle of the night in your bed. It's a community, guys, and everything in the site, the forum, the journeys, showing you how many other people are online. All those little elements, guys, are all well thought out to make you feel like you are a part of a community. And it's not to make you feel like you are part of a community. It's because you will be a part of a community. The content will be consistently updated. Anytime I learn something new, I'll update you because I'm back in the trenches, guys. I'm not going to focus 100% on software building anymore. I'm going to be the guy in the trenches doing this with you. So as I'm testing sales prospects, as I'm testing rankings things, new PBN services, new everything. This is all going to go in the club. So this is a community, guys, and communities are just a better thing. We're going to bring on our special guest right away here. And there he is, Mr. Matthew Versteeg.
Thanks, guys. How are you? Today, what we're going to cover is GMB secrets from the Rank and Rent Club. So I have been hard at work actually making videos for you guys that are inside the full access area of Rank and Rent Club. And so today what I'm going to do is kind of open things up a little bit. I'm going to let you guys get to know me a little bit, but more than that, I'm going to show you some things that are working right now with GMBs. I'm going to show you the potential of what you can do from having one GMB on your site to tons of GMBs on your site. It should be pretty amazing. So let's just dive right in. So after you guys finish with us here today, you're going to know the secrets of what I call GMB adding, okay, which is actually adding a GMB to your Rank and Rent site. That'll dramatically increase the amount of calls and therefore money that comes in from your site. So like Herc showed you, we just added that GMB to the dentist site. It's not had any work done to it, but by adding that to the site, the thing is already getting calls. Imagine what will happen once we actually optimize it, okay? So I call this GMB adding. We're going to get into that a little bit later, all right? I'm going to also show you guys how to stay safe in Google's changing environment, because I'm sure who realizes Google changes like every week, right? Who's been knocked down by an update before, all right? Who doesn't like updates? Okay, you're going to learn to like updates, because when you do things the right way, you're going to see that the updates don't knock you down, all right? It's going to knock other people down, but it's not going to knock you down when you do things the right way. So we're going to go through a lot of that. I'm going to show you even some insider tips, 3 things that a Google insider, actual Google spam team employee that I know, I can't share his name, but he told me 3 things that you can do to keep your GMB safe and more immune from suspensions. I'm going to give those to you on the webinar here today, all right? So also, I'm going to show you how to plus your GMB to bring in more calls each month. Even before you guys join Rank and Rent Club Full Access, I'm going to show you that right here today. And what's possible when you combine Rank and Rent sites with GMBs, there are some insane results. So who the heck am I? Why should you guys even listen to me? I just want to share my background a little bit with you, just so you realize kind of like, I'm not trying to impress you, but more to impress upon you, like how I can help guide you. Like I love to teach. This is what I'm really passionate about, is bringing other people up, seeing them get results, because I've had some amazing results through this over the years. And quite frankly, it's like a massive ocean. There's just so much opportunity out there that I can't even cover it all. Like literally before this webinar, I had a phone call from one of my renters, and what he said was, hey, Matt, can we bring you into the fireproofing niche and the material insulation supply niche? I'd never even heard of these before. I don't know these niches at all, but I've gotten them results in the insulation niche already. And so now they're just coming to me with other opportunities. And that's what you're going to see, is you're such a valued asset to businesses when you can provide like these Rank and Rent sites with lead flow from them, that once you do that, people are just going to start like bringing you stuff. Like you're not even going to have to prospect. Like people will actually ask you to put up sites for them in additional areas, or to put up sites for additional services for them in the areas that they're already targeting. So that's what's cool, is once you get a few renters, that's all you need. The referrals, just the relationships that are going to come out of that, you're going to be literally set. But we need to get you in the game. We need to get you with a site with at least a GMB, preferably multiple GMBs, so you can start getting these kind of results. All right, so let me tell you my story. It's an interesting one. It actually goes back to the time when I was fresh out of high school. My parents said, Matt, you need to go to college. I didn't want to go to college. At the time, I was doing magic shows on nights and weekends. I was interested as, you know, a kid, like from the time I was like 9 years old, in magic. That was like the thing. That was like I was bit by the magic bug. Anybody like magic here? Well, I can't do any magic tricks over the webinar for you guys today, except to show you how you can just bring in money via your Rank and Rent site. So that's probably the closest thing to magic that you're going to see here. There's not a real illusion to it. There are some little tricks to making it happen, but I can promise you that that's probably the closest thing to a magic trick I can show you on the webinar. So long story short, I was a magician. I got into doing these shows as a kid, and I started, you know, doing them through middle school and high school. And so when it came time to like go to college, my parents said, you really need to go to school. You need to like get, you need to get some education, something to fall back on in case you don't want to do this magic thing, right? So I agreed, right? I said, okay, that's fine. And so while I was in college, the first year I didn't really do much. I was just kind of getting acclimated with, school and this new city I was living in. But I was like, yeah, I want to start doing some shows. And I realized that the way to get all of these bookings was from the internet. I actually took out, didn't have much money at the time. I was just a college kid, right? So I took out a little ad in a newspaper, and like this parent magazine, and I got a couple gigs from it, but I wasn't making much money from it. And I realized, everything is coming from online, right? So any of you that have maybe owned a business before, right? Or maybe you have a business like on the side or something like that outside of just internet marketing, you will probably resonate with this. And that is, if you don't market, if you don't advertise, you don't get customers, right? You don't make any money. And so what I did was I quickly got a crappy little website thrown up, and I figured out that just by having the website, I was getting no business. So I started researching, and ads were expensive, right? I was like, I don't know if I can figure this ad thing out. I tried it a little bit. I burned $500 my first day. I didn't have $500, but I burned $500 on a credit card. The first day I ran Google ads, and I said, oh crap. Those are probably not the words I used, but I was pretty pissed off because I did not get even a single booking because I had the targeting all screwed up. I was running ads everywhere across the country for being a magician, and I couldn't book a show everywhere across the country. I just needed shows in my little area. So I had to shut the ads off and figure out a different way. I learned about SEO. I didn't know what SEO was, right? I was very new to this whole thing, but I managed to kind of stuff my website titles with keywords and stick keywords on the page and do what were called reciprocal links. And if you remember reciprocal links, right? Where you would go ahead, give me a little yes if you remember the days of reciprocal links, where you could just go ahead and throw something out there and give somebody a link, and they'd give one back to you, and you would get yourself a boost in rankings. Long gone are those days. A lot of you remember those days. That's cool. Those days are no longer. We have to work a lot harder today. A/B linking. Yeah, you just link to somebody, they link back to you, and both of your websites would improve. It was just, like shooting fish in a barrel. It was so simple. Those kind of days go away, right? It gets tougher. The herd gets thin. So what happened was this. I evolved through that. There were times where I was knocked down and I started to figure it out. But, as I just immersed myself in good training like this, what happened was I started to get some wins. I realized that by investing in my training, I was starting to get some bookings. It was awesome. I remember the phone started to ring, and it wasn't coming from the parent magazine ad. It was coming from all of this, like these website pages that I put up, all of but like 5 pages, but still, it was bringing in shows for me. It was bringing in gigs. Now, fast forward a few months, I was doing maybe 10 shows a month or so, so I was making some good extra money while I was in college. Meanwhile, I was like ready to be done with college. Like I was, starting to make some money on the side. That was exciting to me. I love doing my shows. I kind of love this new marketing thing I was figuring out. And so I was like, how can I dial this up even more? I had this little aha, which was like, you know what? People are looking in the maps, right? That was kind of the days where they had like 7 map spots, right? You guys remember that? Those 7 map listings. If you go back into the wild, wild west days of Google My Business listings, there were 7 spots there on maps when you would do a search. And I was like, how do I get myself in those maps? Well, I was able to do it for my town, but where it really started to click was when I started to go to other towns. Right, I was in Naples, Florida. That's where I was living and going to college. And what I discovered is if I could get myself into that map pack, if you will, for Miami, for Orlando, for Tampa, for other cities, that is where the magic really happened. That's what I did. I got myself a listing, and I built pages out on my website. So even though it wasn't a true rank and rent website, it actually was my first kind of rank and rent website. I was just my own client, right? But what was happening was I was getting these listings up in addition to pages on my website for those areas, and my shows exploded. I went to doing 40 shows per month, right? I was making more money than the professors were making while I was at college. And I have to say, I feel a little bit bad about this sometimes, but I actually skipped school in order to go do a magic show at an elementary school for $500 in 45 minutes. So I skipped class to go make money doing magic shows, which came from my GMBs and my site. And I did a lot of shows, actually about 4,000 shows from the time I was in college and then for several years after I was in college. That's all I did was I just marketed my website. I brought tons of shows in, and something really crazy happened to me. I was running around doing all these gigs, and one day I felt so tired. I didn't know why I felt so tired because I always had so much energy. I think you guys can realize, like, I'm not short on energy. I was really tired, though. I was really short on energy, and I didn't know what was going on. My wife now, we weren't married then, but girlfriend at the time said, I think you ought to go in. Something's not right with you. You're like lethargic. And I was like, no, I don't need to go in. I'm fine. And it didn't get any better. I just started to get so lethargic, and then I broke out in all of this rash, and I figured out it was shingles. I'd never heard of shingles in my life, but it turns out I had depleted myself so much by working so hard running around doing all these shows that I got shingles in my 20s. Okay, so it was like a big slap in the face, a big wake-up call. It was like, whoa, wait a second. My priorities changed at that point. Here I'm in my 20s. I had shingles, and it was bad. I mean, I luckily I wasn't hospitalized. I was able to be at home, but I had to cancel my shows. I was just like shocked. I thought I was like healthy, but here I was working so much. Any of you relate? I hope you've never had that awful experience, but any of you relate? Like, you've worked so hard that like you've burned yourself out? Maybe that's why you're looking for other ideas like this where you can actually work from home, right? Or work from, in this case, I'm in Disney World right now for a week while we're actually moving to another state. And so to make it easier on my family, we went to Disney World for the week. We can do that now, which is pretty cool. But I want to impress upon you the choices that you can make when you have a business working for you. I didn't have a business working for me. And so at that moment, I realized, you know what? I'm going to expand this site out. I'm going to expand this website out to where I'm going to do more GMBs. I'm going to do more pages. So I built basically a massive rank and rent website. And what happened was I went from doing my 40 shows a month to doing like 5 shows a month. I cut way back, and my site started to bring in several thousand leads per month from all of these GMB listings and all of the pages that I had on my site. And it did become a rank and rent website. I actually started to sell the leads to other people because I couldn't do shows in all of the different parts of the country that these were coming in from. And that was kind of my goal. Was I first thought I was just going to book my performer friends out, right? Hey, I got a gig for you. You can take this. I'll book you here. That was a nightmare. It was managing a bunch of people. My guess is you don't want to be managing a bunch of people. That's why you love the idea of rank and rent, okay? This is a lifestyle business, all right? What's pretty cool is I am at home with my kids every day. My wife is at home with my kids every day. I got 3 kids under the age of 5, so my life is very busy. But what's cool is I get to spend over half of my day, some days the whole day with them. And that's just an awesome thing. So again, I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you what can happen. Fast forward to that website, it generated several thousand leads per month for over 2 years, and then I actually sold the website off to the company that was renting it for me. All right. So what's pretty cool is like I was able to sell that thing, which was awesome, but I also had a really sweet income for several years while I then decided, you know what, I'm going to take on some clients and I'm going to get more into teaching this kind of stuff because that's what I'm really passionate about. So statistics show that if I don't show you like a cool house and like a fancy car, you guys will not believe what I say, okay? Anybody of you think that if I don't show you those kind of things, you're not going to believe that I've actually done this? All right, so some of you are going to say no because you maybe know me already or whatever, and others of you are going to say, yeah, you know, whatever. So here's what we're going to do. All right, I'm not going to impress you. I'm going to impress upon you what can happen here when you take advantage of this. All right, so this is a photo, a couple of this was about 6 months ago when we were at Disney World, and you can see my kids are having a ball. Rank and Rent gives you the ability to get back your time. All right. So if you're slaving away at a job you don't like, right? If you've got maybe a spouse that's working really hard, right, and you want to kind of retire them from your job, I'm not saying you're going to be able to do that today, right? But if you get momentum going, if you get a site going, if you start applying the things I'm going to show you here, you're going to be able to get back your time. And it's all about choices, okay? So here's the thing. Some people like fancy cars. Some people like fancy fishing trips, right? It doesn't matter what you're into. The key here is I want to give you the ability to have choices, okay? I've done a lot of different things, okay? The cool thing is the money that I've been able to make from this has given me a lot of choices, all right? This was a car that I owned. I'm going to show you what I got rid of it for in a second. This was a house that I owned, okay? I no longer have it. I actually sold it, bought another house, realized we didn't like living in Florida, and so now we're moving to be back to family and friends. So it's not about the stuff. I've had the stuff. The stuff is fun, but it's about meaning for you. My wife couldn't get the kids up into this Mercedes G-Wagon. So guess what? She wanted a Honda Odyssey van instead. So I got rid of the G-Wagon and got a Honda Odyssey van. You're never going to see somebody on a webinar showing you their Honda Odyssey van. Am I right? I'm showing you guys this stuff to show you the ability that you can choose what you want. It might not be about a $200,000 car or a $100,000 car. It might be about a van that you can press a button and have all the doors open up so your kids can pile into it, right? That's more important for us at this stage of life than having a 550 horsepower vehicle. Now, some of you are young, and so you're thinking, man, I want the 550 horsepower vehicle. It doesn't matter to me what you want. It's more that you have the ability to choose, okay? So after you guys learn from me on this webinar, you are going to be, not only are you going to be fired up, but you're going to actually know some of the actions that you can take to further your education and to really get going on this. All right. So here's a little fun picture you can see. I put this up because I love to teach. All right. So are you guys ready to jump in? Pretend you're my students in like my hotel here right now, because I'm coming to you from my Disney World hotel. Pretend you are right here in the room with me, and we're going to go through this stuff together. All right, guys, ready to jump in? You're ready to jump in. All right, so here's what I'm going to show you exactly how to do on this webinar. I'm going to combine GMBs with Rank and Rent sites to explode your phone calls and your renters' happiness. Here's the thing. If somebody is not happy, they're not going to keep paying you. So I'm going to show you how to get people to keep paying you. Next thing I'm going to show you is how to make your site more trusted through using a GMB or multiple GMBs. I'm going to explain why that is. And I'm going to show you a forgotten way to boost phone calls for your Rank and Rent site. Now, a lot of people, okay, have never done this before. And it's actually very simple. It uses another tool besides the GMB in order to actually bump your phone calls up. And it takes like 5 minutes to apply. And I'm going to show you guys this on the webinar because here's my philosophy, right? Obviously, we want you guys to join the full Rank and Rent Club. I want to blow you away with so much cool stuff here today that you guys go, oh my gosh, if that's what he showed me on the webinar, imagine what he's going to show me inside the member area. Okay, so that's our goal here today. Sound good? And the last thing we're going to cover is how to stay safe. How many of you have seen that Google has been doing some crazy stuff lately, right? How many of you have seen that they're knocking out listings? People are getting suspensions. People had a GMB and they lost it. The GMB environment can be volatile. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to stay safe. We're going to talk about some different angles of how to verify a listing. Now, I'm not going to show you how to verify your listings right here on this call. That's going to be inside the full club access. But what I am going to do is I'm going to show you how to keep your listings safe. Okay, so whether you have a listing already or whether you'll be getting one, I'm going to show you how to make sure those listings do not get taken down. All right. And after you are in the Rank and Rent Club, you're going to get so much more. All right. So I'm going to leave this for you guys in a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to go in depth now on each of these items. All right. So first of all, combining GMBs with Rank and Rent sites to explode your phone calls. Picture this. You've just built a Rank and Rent site like Herc has shown you, right? You've gone through all the steps and look at, you've got rankings. You've got somebody that can potentially buy or rent out your site just from the organic rankings. So how do you dazzle Literally, how do you dazzle that renter so they never want to leave? The key is you blow up their phone with phone calls. Imagine what's going to happen when Herc takes this dentist site and starts sending the calls to a dentist, right? That dentist is going to be like, oh, wow, you know, like imagine Herc even just sends them like 5 or 10 people, right? Just say he sends them 5 or 10 people. Do you think after he sent them 5 or 10 people that they're going to want to stop? Stop? I don't think so. That's where this gets juicy, is once you get your renter accustomed to all this extra business that they're getting, they want to keep that going. So the power of GMBs is the ability to show your client that what you're doing for them is actually bringing them business. Once they know they're getting business from your site and from your efforts, they don't want to leave. And this is where the game shifts. If you've done client work before, and I've done client work before, and I'm not taking on any more clients. I'm purely a rank and rent lead gen business now, because here's why. When you realize that you hold the power, you hold the power, you own the site, you own the GMB, and you can determine who you're going to sell that to. So you completely shift from this client going, hey, how are we doing? What's going on with this? Oh, I don't know if I can afford this anymore. You completely get rid of that. And if somebody doesn't want to rent your site, there's another renter, because when you set your site up this way, you're going to be getting calls in major metro areas. We're not getting stuff in very tiny towns. So there's always going to be more than one renter that you can get. And that's what keeps them happy, is them getting phone calls and them realizing that, you know what? If they don't pay, you're not going to keep sending them calls. So that is the key. How many of you guys would like to see a real rank and rent site of mine? Oh, Donald, you are passionate. He said clients suck. Well, they can, right? I mean, I've had clients, and by their nature, clients aren't a bad thing. But sometimes the dynamic of the relationship is what sucks, right? Where you feel like you're on a chain to these people and they're the one pulling you around, right? You're adding all this great value. You're really trying to do a great job for them. And sometimes people just don't appreciate that, right? Sometimes people just don't appreciate it. But if you can go ahead and turn the tables and be the one that's in control, it's a far better relationship. I have great relationships with my renters because they know the power that I'm bringing. They know the value that I'm bringing, and they can see how many calls they're getting, right? I show them how many calls they're getting. Do you guys want to see how many calls I'm getting from a site? I'm not saying that this is typical. I'm going to explain to you how many GMBs are powering this website. It's a lot, okay? This is not just from one GMB. But I want to show you guys the power of what is possible when you really get into this, okay? Who wants to see it? I've probably had about 2 or 3 dozen yeses, but guys, I need more. I need more because I actually just opened up this call tracking account, and I'm going to show you what, okay, there we go. Bring it on. Bring it on. Now you guys are excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to escape out of my PowerPoint here if I can. Let me see how I can do that. There we go. I'm out. Now, tell me if you guys can see my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Can you guys see what looks like to be a big bar chart? Good. And look at the date on here. It is from December 29th to January 29th. So this is the last month, okay? In the last month, this is one call tracking account that belongs to one website. This website is an installation website. It targets about 4 major counties in New York, right? I know what Amy's thinking. 407 calls missed. That is insane, right? 407 calls missed, right? We need to get them to pick up a little bit more, right? But look at this, 1,600 phone calls, all right? 1,600 phone calls, right? Even if we take out the missed ones. We're talking over 1,000 phone calls in the last 30 days. Guys, this is one website. Now, I know what you're thinking, Matt. That's like, that can't be true. There's no way you're getting 1,000 phone calls into a website, right? Some of you do realize it because you've actually seen the site. You've seen me or seen my trainings, and you've actually seen the website, so you know that I'm not BSing you. This is a real website. Some of you have been on this website before. It is not that glamorous looking of a website. It's been around for a couple years now, and I really don't touch it. I really don't change anything on it because, guys, if you have a website that's bringing you 1,000+ phone calls a month, do you really want to change it? No, you really don't want to change it. You just kind of leave the thing be, okay? Right? in case your wife wants another Honda Odyssey van, there's another Honda Odyssey van. All right. So you just leave the thing go. How many GMBs, though, are behind this website? I know some of you are thinking that, going, Matt, that's not from a single GMB. You're absolutely right. It is not from a single GMB. It is actually from about 30 GMBs, okay? About 30 GMBs. Now, you might be thinking, whoa, 30 GMBs, that sounds crazy. We didn't start with 30 GMBs. We started with 1 GMB. One of the things that I teach is what I call a multi-location strategy. It's how to take a site and expand it with multiple GMBs. And in doing so, you explode your phone calls. Now, even if you just have a single GMB, you're going to get phone calls. Even if you don't do anything to rank it. I mean, look at the GMB I put up for Herc. He's already getting phone calls. We have done 0, literally 0 to rank that thing. It's never had any links built to it. It's, oh, there go the pressure washers outside, guys. If you hear beeping, it's because they're pressure washing the outside of the beach club here at Disney World. So here's the scoop. Get 1 GMB to start. I highly suggest, okay, whether you guys are being in the Rank and Rent Club full access or not, get yourself a single GMB for your site. I can't tell you how much I implore you to just get a GMB, because it will bring in calls even if it's not optimized. This is one of the greatest opportunities ever, because Google made a shift. They made a shift to where they started to show Google My Business listings based on location of where the person is searching from. You guys familiar with this? If you do a search right now for something in your area, if you just type in insulation companies or insulation businesses near me, what's going to happen? You're going to get insulation companies that are in your neck of the woods, like right in your town or in your area, and even your little section of town. It's not going to show you stuff a county over. It's not going to show you stuff next city over. It's going to show you stuff right in your area. And when Google did that, it cut down the phone calls dramatically that people were getting to their GMBs. This has been a couple years now. But I remember one of my students, he had a GMB, 1 GMB in a city, a major city, for a taxi company. He was getting so many leads, like thousands of leads per month. Google made that change. He lost about 95% of his phone calls. That was about 2 years ago when they made, or so, when they made that change. Now, inside of that massive change that hurt a lot of people comes a big opportunity. And that big opportunity is having more than 1 GMB on your site, okay? Most people are thinking, I just need a single GMB. No, you don't just need a single GMB. You need a lot of them, okay? Because every single one is going to bring you traffic. It is going to bring you leads just by it existing. Because in the case of Herc's example, we haven't done anything to the GMB yet. But because we haven't done anything to it yet, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to show up for some people in some areas. Now, it's probably going to show up for the people that are close to where that listing is at. Now, if somebody's across town, they may not even see Herc's listing, okay? But if they're close to where that listing is at, they're likely going to see it in an even better ranking position than what you and I are maybe looking at from afar, okay? Does that make sense to you guys? That's a good, it's a very important point. I want to get this all in for you guys. I've got a lot to cover. It's an important point for you to understand that the GMB is going to get the most visibility right around where it's located, not from across the town, not from a nearby town over. And so many people right now still, even though they've heard this, still have not taken advantage of this opportunity. The opportunity is getting yourself multiple listings on your site. Start with 1, but you want to add more and more listings onto it. Again, look at the kind of call volume that's coming from 30 listings here. Pretty dramatic, right? So let's keep going with the rest of the content that I've had for you guys here today, but I can tell you, if you don't already have a GMB on a Rank and Rent site, that is where it gets really, really juicy, okay? That's just one call tracking account. I have many accounts. I actually just like setting up a new call tracking account for each site. That's, not necessary, obviously, but that's some of the stuff I'll be showing you guys in the full access, is how you get these set up, how you track the calls, how you explode your efforts so you don't just get a trickle of calls, but you get a flood of calls, all right? Because really, a lot of calls coming in means you're going to have a very, very happy renter, all right? So let's go on to the next part of this, which is GMBs make your rank and rent site more trusted, okay? Why is that? Well, let's go back to what I just mentioned, which is when you have a GMB, it brings some traffic in. Not a lot of traffic unless you optimize it and push it into the map pack, but it brings you some traffic just by it existing. Because if somebody is in the same neighborhood or part of town that your GMB is in and they go search for your kind of business, you are going to be ranking even though you haven't done anything to the listing yet. You might be third, you might be second, you might be first, you might be eighth. You're going to be somewhere there just because you exist. Now, here's the sneaky little part of this. The reason why Google did this is because they wanted to make everybody more reliant on ads. They want people to pay for ads. What better way to do it than to cut everybody's reach on their GMBs to just right around where that GMB is located at? It was a slick move on their part to make a lot more money from ads. But guys, Google doesn't employ me, okay? I'm here to help you get the most amount of value out of this, not Google. So here's the key. When you get your GMBs and you get them located in great parts of town, I'll show you how to do this, how to get your GMBs located in the key areas where people actually live, where your prospects for a rank and rent site actually live. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you have an insulation business, you don't need to go locating this in a downtown area because likely that's not where your customers are at. They're going to be in the affluent suburbs. They're going to be in the areas where new construction is happening, where remodeling is happening. When you get your GMB located there, that's where you get a lot of phone calls. So I'm going to be showing you tricks like that on how to get the most amount of calls, even off a brand new GMB that's never even been optimized, all right? So why does it make your site more trusted though? Here's why. When you get traffic to your website from your GMB, it's a very good sign to Google that you are a real business. Google does not like spam. They do not like stuff that is fly-by-night. But when they see that you have a real listing that you have taken time to verify and that that's actually bringing real traffic to your site, what happens? Google goes, oh, okay, yeah, this is legit. It's getting some traffic, right? People are liking this. They're interacting with it. It's a good sign. The real trick is when you have more than one GMB attached to your website, you get a lot more traffic, right? If you got like 10 GMBs, you're going to get 10 times the amount of traffic. You're going to get 10 times the amount of phone calls, but also you get a lot more trust with Google. That insulation website that I showed you, who can guess how much money I spent building links to that site, okay? How much do you guys think I spent? There's 30 GMB, so let's just kind of take that out of the equation. Let's just think it's like citations that I probably did to it, other links. How much do you think I spent? Now, this was over a period of probably a year, right? Because I kept adding more and more locations on. It was already getting phone calls from the very first month, but I kept adding more and more on, right? How many, to get 1,000 phone calls a month, how much do you think I spent? You think I had to spend $10,000, $50,000? Yeah, I literally probably spent like $1,000 or $2,000 over the period of a year, and that was it. And most of that was just on some citations for those listings that I built, okay? I did a few other key links, which I'll show you guys how to do into what I call power pages in the website that help push up all of our listings. But can you imagine? I mean, imagine a business where you get 1,000 phone calls plus per month, right? And you maybe only had to spend $1,000 to do that, or a couple $1,000s to do it. Didn't even do press releases, didn't even do anything of the nature, right? Pretty great results, okay? So the more GMBs you have, the more your site is trusted. More it's trusted, all right? So let's keep rolling here, guys, because I have a lot more to show you, including my little phone boost trick, and I want to make sure that we get to that, okay? So the forgotten way to boost phone calls to your Rank and Write site. Who wants to know how we boost phone calls? This is not through Google. This is through another tool. And if you guys are excited enough, then I figured we could show this. This was going to just be something in the full access, but I figured the only way you guys are going to know how great full access is if I come in here and I show you the really good stuff. So you go, okay, all right, this full access is really worth it, and I want to jump on the train and really do this, all right? That was a lot of you, but I mean, there's still a few of you that have not said yes yet. So I'm going to make you wait until we get some more yeses. Okay, there we go. There we go. I think you guys realize this. Like, this is like paid content. This is not stuff people talk about. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that only gets shared at usually live events or inside private member groups. Not stuff on a public webinar. So you guys are, I hate to say it, very lucky, okay, to get this. The forgotten way to boost phone calls for your Rank and Rent site. Here you go. Anybody heard of something called Bing before? Who thinks Bing is doesn't count? Okay, anybody hear of Bing? Bing what? Most people think Bing doesn't count, that it doesn't do anything. Well, Bing still gets a little bit, a small percentage, mind you, of the phone calls. Now let's just do some math here, okay? If we have a site that is getting 1,000 phone calls per month, how many phone calls do you think we could get if we had all of those GMBs basically on Bing as well? Meaning if we had a location in, what's a city? If we had a location in Chicago, but we didn't have the business on Bing, do you think we could get some more phone calls? What if we just got 10 more phone calls? What if we just got 10 more phone calls, right? Like 1%. What if we just got an extra 1%? What if we got an extra 5%? That'd be 50 more phone calls per month, okay? Could you imagine what that would actually be? I mean, imagine if a phone call was only worth $20, right? That could be another $1,000 per month, right? Imagine if it was only a $20 phone call. Those are not $20 phone calls, mind you. They're a lot more than $20 phone calls. But imagine if they were only $20. It'd bring an extra grand a month, right? Not a bad deal. So I want to show you guys how to boost phone calls using Bing, right? Now, I know we're talking about GMB, so you're thinking, what the heck? Why would we talk about Bing? Because most people don't use Bing. You never hear people talking about Bing in Facebook groups, on webinars. It never gets any attention. I want you guys to start using Bing. I don't want you to sit there and try to become a master of Bing because, oh, I love that. Donald just said bada bing. That's fantastic. That is literally what this is a bada bing. I talked to one of my clients earlier today, one of my renters, and basically what we're doing is we are putting up a bunch of new listings for him on a new Rank and Rent site, and we're going to add Bing into the equation. So it's going to be an extra boost in phone calls. And I'm going to show you in less than 5 minutes how to get yourself a Bing listing, and that's all you got to do. Once you do that, it's it. This is like a 5-minute thing, guys. That's all it takes. All right, so let me show you what we need to do that. You have to have a GMB first, okay? That's the key with this, all right? Get your GMB first. Once you get your GMB, you come over here to bingplaces.com. bingplaces.com. What is the magic behind this? The magic behind this is that you can add, I'm shocked people don't mention this. This is hidden in plain sight, guys. You can go to bingplaces.com, and when you go ahead to get started and claim your listing, look at this little feature right here. This is the magic. Already on Google My Business, import your businesses now. Instant verification if you're already verified on Google My Business. Business details are pre-filled. You can edit after importing if details are obsolete. Are you guys catching that? All you need to have is your GMB. You come over here to Bing Places, you go import from Google My Business, and it does not make you verify for Bing. You just literally import your Google My Business listing. You now have a Bing listing for yourself, and it requires no other verification. As long as you have email access to the Google My Business listing, you just come over, bring it in here, and you now get yourself a Bing listing. There you go. Bada bing. Right? That's great, Donald. Bada bing. So you have yourself a Bing listing in addition to your Google My Business listing. Not only will that help your organic rankings, but also it will bring in phone calls all by itself without you doing anything on it, okay? And that's one of my tricks, is to get your business info on as many sites as possible. A lot of people think citations don't work, okay? Citations, how many of you are familiar with citations? How many of you, like, give me a yes. Most of you should be familiar with it. This is not something that's new. We just go about it in a new way, right? And I'll be showing you more about the power of citations later, but what is so cool about citations is you can actually generate phone calls from those citations. The more GMBs you have, the more Bing Places listings you have, the more citations you have. These are like little mini billboards out there for you on the internet, okay? And they're going to bring you more phone calls and more traffic back to your Rank and Rent site. It helps credential your Rank and Rent site as well as a legitimate site, okay? Yeah, no, you don't want to be using something like Yext, Brian. That's not necessary. You don't need to be paying a bunch of money for citations. We'll be showing you how to do that very, very inexpensively. Remember, I was able to do this in a mass amount for a very small amount of money, okay? So it doesn't have to be something that you go spend big amounts of money on. I am all about efficiencies, okay? I'm all about using inexpensive outsourcing in order to get this stuff done. You do not need to be tied to a tool like Yext just to get citations. So I'll be showing you much, much more on how to do citations the right way, because most people think it's all about the name, address, and phone number. It's only partially about that. It's far, far deeper than that in terms of getting rankings. I can show you how to get rankings without even having that name, address, and phone number even match, okay? It doesn't even have to match, all right? So besides that, let's keep going. You guys, you want to keep going on this? Should we keep going? Let's see if you guys want to keep going. Okay, yes, you do. Fire away. We're rocking and rolling. So as I mentioned, the key with all of this is getting your business in as many places. Wow, you guys are almost starting to swear in the chat. That is a good sign. It means you guys are liking this stuff. All right, I won't repeat some of the comments, but that's a good sign. So what do we want to do with this? We want to get that Google My Business listing info on as many sites as possible. So we want to get it on Bing. We also want to go ahead and get it on Apple Maps. We want to get it on as many citation properties as we can because it brings in additional phone calls. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about how to keep your listing safe and secure. All right. That's really important. A lot of people have been freaking out about GMBs thinking that they don't work. I'm showing you guys right now, literally data within the last month, that this stuff absolutely works, okay? Absolutely works, and it works phenomenal. And what's so great right now is Google has literally programmed people to be scared that GMBs do not work, they're dangerous, you shouldn't be doing them, you don't need them. They're trying to distract you so you'll go buy ads. So if you haven't seen already, GMBs on your Rank and Rent site is exactly where you want to be at in 2020. It is absolutely crushing it, okay? So how do you crush it even further? You keep your GMB listings safe, okay? Because a lot of people out there have put up GMBs before and they've gotten suspended, right? Or they're worried about them getting suspended, or they're worried maybe that they're not going to rank. Well, I just showed you, even if you don't do anything to them, they'll still bring in phone calls, okay? Even if you don't do any of the other work on them, they're still going to bring in phone calls for you. So just having them is a great asset in addition to your Rank and Rent site. But we want to keep our listings safe. We want to have these things around for a long time so they can continue to pay us over and over and over and over again. And that call log that I've shown you, that site's been around a couple of years now. Now, I've not done anything else really to it in probably the last year or more, but it just continues to bring in those calls. So I want that for you as well. I want you to be able to have these as assets so you can invest and build them up. Lois, no blogging. There isn't, I take it back. There is maybe a blog on there, but there's not been a post on there for 2 years or a year and a half or something. There's no blogging on there. There's been no updates to it, okay? It is a static site, pretty much is what you'd call it. So remember, it's credentialed by having the GMBs attached to it. That's a big trick, a big secret behind why it works so well still. Real people coming to it, they actually start searching for the brand name now because of all of the GMBs bringing in fresh prospects, fresh leads all the time into that site. So how do you keep your listing safe though? Let's talk about that now, because what good is a listing if it doesn't stay safe? All right, that's a major part of it. I cannot reveal this person's name, but I do know an insider inside Google's spam team. I cannot mention his name. He would lose his job, and I don't want that to happen. He speaks off record. I met him through a friend of mine who is also a very good SEO, and he's shared some interesting things. 3 of them I can repeat. The rest I cannot repeat, but the 3 of them I can repeat. So would you guys like to hear 3 tips literally from a Google insider who was willing to, I mean, literally, this person's like a mole, right? I absolutely cannot mention his name. He would lose his job, and it would be a horrible thing. He has a great job there, but he doesn't, you know, he put it this way. He feels for us SEOs, and so he was willing to spill some beans for us. All right, here are the beans. If you guys want to know the 3 things that you should do for your listing, okay? 3. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Really? I don't know if you guys are ready. Maybe we should just skip that. I'm thinking maybe, guys, we should just table. No, okay, all right. You guys are gonna get mad if I don't. Okay. 3 things that you need to do in order to keep your GMB safe. The first thing that you need to do is you need to log in. You need to log into your listing, okay? You need to log in. What do I mean by that? Google looks to see if they already have any kind of person behind your listing. If they don't see any real activity there, guess what happens? They'll suspend your listing. So just logging into your listing is a very good thing to do, because most people don't log into their listings that are not a quote real business. Real business is most likely will log in at some point, but people that typically do rank and rent, they just get their GMB and then they go, okay, I got my GMB, I'm all done. Not quite. While you don't need to do a lot of linking or spend a lot of money, one thing you do want to do is actually log into your listings, because if you don't log into your listings, what happens is Google assumes that it's just a fake listing that nobody cares about. And if nobody cares about it, they don't log into it. And in Google's eyes, why not suspend a listing like that? There's nobody behind it. Nobody cares about it. There's nobody responding to the customers, right? There's nobody here to message. Might as well just suspend the listing. It must be junk. That's how they feel. So with any of your GMBs, whether they're client GMBs, whether they're a rank and rent GMB, log into it. Log into it at least once or twice a month. Okay. Now, what do you do when you log into it? When you log into it, the second thing you need to do is you need to respond to any reviews that you get. When you don't respond to reviews, Google thinks that you're not a real person, right? They think that you don't care. They think that if nobody's responding, that it must not be very valuable. So what do you need to do? You need to actually log in and respond. It doesn't matter what the response is. Now, I like to leave a response that includes part of the keyword, but you don't have to. Wink, wink. You can just go ahead and respond to that review. And by responding to the review, Google sees that you're a real person, that you can actually be reached, that you actually care about your customers. That's what they want to see. Google's all about experience. Think about this. If somebody goes to Google, they find a business, they message the business, and or they leave a review and they get no feedback and it's a very poor experience, how does that make Google look? Not very good. People got a poor experience by coming to Google, and Google doesn't want that. That's why Google's done things like this. They want to make sure that somebody actually is there to give the customer a better experience, right? That's why they make it more valuable for your rankings to have a more filled out GMB, to respond to people, to actually get reviews, to respond to those reviews. Ever heard of posts, right? That's the third item, is to actually do some posts. You don't need to do a lot of posts. Even just a post is helpful, because when you post, it shows that you're a real business. And again, it took a real person to come up with that post and to actually post that. Even if you're using a posting tool, it doesn't matter. They want to see there's a real person behind the business. That's the key here. A real person behind the business, because otherwise they assume it's just fake, it's just spam, and they can delete it safely and not affect anyone's livelihood. All right. So I hope you realize the value what you guys are getting here. Really spilling some beans for you on how to keep GMB safe. And that has never been mentioned publicly before. I've mentioned that on some private webinars and to some of my students before, but not publicly. So that is some very up-to-date insider info on how to keep your listing safe. All right. So let's, who wants more? Are you guys excited to know more? Who wants more? Who's excited about adding GMBs to your Rank and Rent site? Who's interested in like going to town on this stuff, right? Absolutely. There's a lot more where this comes from. Do you guys realize that sometimes we do live events on this stuff and we talk about this for 2 or 3 days? Okay. So I'm trying to pack as much as I can in here for you, but realize there's no way I can show you even a fraction of what we can do and what we can add to a Rank and Rent site to not only push it up organically, but to add GMBs on it and flood that site with phone calls. There's so much that's there that's why Herc and Todd have brought me into the Rank and Rent Club to actually show you guys in the full access area how to do a lot of, like all of this stuff. I'm an open book. I'm actually going to be inside the group right with you inside the forum. I'll be answering questions as I can, and we'll be helping you guys implement this kind of stuff. All right, because this is what I do. This is my business. I do this stuff every single day when I'm not at Disney World and goofing off. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually going to be inside the full access area for you guys once you jump in there. All right, so let me just toggle over to that now. So after you guys are in the Rank and Rent Club full access, here's what you're going to be learning from me in that. So you're going to be learning a lot from Herc, but you're also going to be learning a lot from me. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to get a Google My Business listing, because I'm sure some of you are thinking, nah, this sounds great, but like, how do I get a Google My Business listing, right? If you're, in the case of like Herc's site, he's in Canada and this site is in Salt Lake City, Utah. So how do you get yourself a GMB in Salt Lake City, Utah? I'm going to show you 2 different verification methods that you can do, okay, that will actually get you a listing. Okay, these are postcard verification methods. Some of you that are actually more familiar with GMBs may say, oh, Matt, I've heard that people can phone verify, or I've seen that people can phone verify or text message verify. And a lot of that is going away, or in some cases, it can create some problems. All right, so what I'm going to show you how to do is 2 of my methods for getting an actual postcard verification done in any city in the world. Okay, any city in the world. It doesn't even matter if you're not in the US. I can show you how to do this internationally to get a verified listing for yourself, all right, and your Rank and Rent site. And then I can show you how to replicate this over and over so you can have multiple GMBs inside of that same Rank and Rent site. I'm going to show you how you can do this for a very little amount of money, okay? In most cases, the expense for me in order to get one of these for myself is anywhere from $20 to $50. All right. Who here would invest $20 to $50 in order to get a bunch of phone calls? Okay. A bunch of phone calls in order to sell those to your client. Yeah, all day, right? Some of you are saying like no brainer, all day. Yeah, $20, $50 doesn't have to cost you a lot, right? You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to do this. It can cost you as little as like 20 bucks. Sometimes I will spend a little bit more just to speed up my results. So that'll be something that I show you is how to speed up your results. I have only so much time. You only have so much time. So while you might at the beginning want to spend more time, okay, in order to do these kind of things, as you start scaling up with us, what you're going to see is that it's worth it to spend a little bit of money in order to save yourself time. Because we only have so much time, and guess what? Like when I can just spend another 30 bucks in order to cut my time down on it, then I could take that time and go spend that with my kids. Yeah, guys, this is absolutely live, 100%. I'm coming to you guys from Disney World in the process of moving my family to Minnesota. So this is absolutely a live webinar, John. So you're going to get the verification methods inside of the full club access. I'm also going to show you how to power up your GMBs through optimizing your Rank and Rent site. So what's really cool is that Herc is going to be showing you a lot of neat on-page optimizations for your site organically. And what I'm going to do is combine with that in order to show you how to make the GMB pop with it. So there's some things that we can do within the on-page optimization, not just our titles. You guys can do schema, okay? We're going to show you how to do schema properly, but I have some other advanced optimizations that we're going to do on the site, including adding some additional content and some additional things that are going to power up that GMB ranking and your site ranking. Okay. What else are you guys going to get? You're also going to get my GMB setup secrets. So I've already filmed a video how to set up the entire listing. So you guys are going to get that, all my little nuggets about how to get the listing set up properly so it will rank even better. We're going to be optimizing images. We're going to be optimizing videos. We're going to be showing you how to create relevant citations to bring in more phone calls and to push up your organic rankings as well. And I will also be showing you guys image secrets too. Okay, so how to use images not only with the different tools that are inside of Project Supremacy, but some syndication things that I do in order to syndicate those images out in order to bring relevance back to your GMB to pop the rankings up even more. And I could go on and on and on, but what I want to do right now is Herc, I want you to stop sharing my screen. Herc is going to show you guys how you can get full club access right now. And while he is doing that, I'm going to be going through your questions that you have sent in because, guys, we've been moving a mile a minute. So I've seen some of your questions, but I haven't been able to answer them because I wanted to get all this training out for you. So while Herc shows you guys how to get the full access right now so you guys can jump in there, I'm going to be going through some of your questions immediately after so we can get you guys up and running right now. So Herc, why don't you go ahead, show them how to get in the full access, and I'm going to go through the questions so we can start answering questions once they know how to get signed up.
All right, so what is included in becoming a full club access member to the RankAndRent.club? You've been a free trial member now, so hopefully you've got a pretty good feeling for what it's like to be a part of our community. But I want to show you what you get if you decide to become a full club access member. So first of all, we're going to unlock all the areas of the site for you. So you're going to get full club access to learn everything about the rank and rent model, which is a way to learn and profit in a pressure-free setting. So we're going to take you through the 4 core modules, which are find, which is going to help you find the keywords, build, which is going to teach you how to build and optimize your websites, rank, which is going to teach you how to rank your websites #1 in Google so that you can get traffic and phone calls to them and they become valuable. And then rent is going to teach you how to rent out your sites or sell the leads to people. So the Rank and Rent Full Club Access course value is $19.97, and it is taught by me, Herc Magnus. Now, I hate calling myself an SEO expert, but I do know what I'm doing, and I have all the proof in the world to back that up. You're also going to get access to the private blog network module, which is going to help you learn everything about PBNs. And PBNs are just amazing because they're going to help you get your sites ranked faster with more powerful links. So I'm going to teach you everything about how to find PBNs, how to analyze them, how to set them up, and then how to use them effectively to rank your site. So you guys have seen from the Salt Lake City over the shoulder build that I was able to rank that site #1 for multiple mid-traffic keywords with just 5 PBN links. So learning how to set up your own PBN the right way is a massive asset to your business. So I'm going to teach you everything I know about that. And that module alone is worth $9.97. You're also going to get access to the Google My Business module or the GMB module. And this is going to be taught by GMB expert Matthew Versteeg. And the purpose to having a GMB is because you want to own 2 properties on Google when someone searches for your keywords. You want to be placed in the map pack listings, but you also want to have your website ranking #1 as well. And GMB is just going to help you double or even triple your lead gen efforts by ranking in the maps. So we have Matt there to teach you everything about GMB, how to get your properties verified, how to get them ranking and optimized, and just how to get a lot more phone calls through GMB. We're also going to have monthly live training webinars that you'll be able to access. You'll be able to come on live and learn from us. And we're going to do these in a few different formats. #1, we're going to have just general Q&A webinars. #2, we're going to have site audit webinars where if people want to share their sites and their niches online with other full club members, we'll allow you to do that, and we'll analyze your sites live on the webinar so that not only can you learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, but everybody else on the webinar can learn about those. We're also going to have member profiles when members start getting multiple successes, we'll have them come on and teach and train you guys about what they're doing. So there's just going to be all kinds of great live trainings. We're also going to show you different aspects of the software and how to use them. We'll cover them on different webinars. So we're going to do that monthly, and we might even increase the frequency of those webinars to 2 or even 4 times per month. As of right now, they're monthly, but as the need grows, we will definitely increase the amount of live training webinars that you'll be able to access. Okay, you're also going to be able to access the training webinar replays. So right now, as a free trial member, you only will have access to the webinar replays for 48 hours after they are posted, because we really want that value to be there for full club access members. But when you become a full club access member, all replays will always be available to you. And the nicest part about this is that we will have, once we get to a point where we have a lot of training webinar replays, I understand that people don't like sorting through hours and hours of content to find the exact topic they need. So we will have a keyword searchable database where you can type in the subject matter that you're looking for, and it will give you the link exactly to the point in the right webinar where we're talking about your specific keyword search. So there, it's going to be a keyword searchable webinar vault that you'll have complete access to. You're also going to have access to a private members only forum. So right now you have access to the forum, and it is just extremely amazing what's going on in there. But we also have a very private forum that, as a free trial member, you cannot see. Only full club member access members can actually see that. And I keep telling people, when you have something very, very good to share, or something that you don't want free trial members to see, you're going to want to put it in the private members only forum. So there's a lot of great content in there from other full club members who are getting things done, and you'll be able to access that as well. So now we're going to go, that's the course content, but there's more to this offer. There's also the software aspect. You're going to get access to Keyword Supremacy, which is our software to help you find the niche that you should be going after. Not only is Keyword Supremacy great at helping you do niche hunting, which you as a free trial member can go through all the fine stuff, and there's a lot of Keyword Supremacy videos in there, and you can see how amazing and how easy it is to find excellent niches for local rank and rent. But Keyword Supremacy is also a great tool when you've chosen your niche and you need to find out what are the other keywords or what are the other pages that I should be building on this site, so that I can target even more keywords, get more traffic and more phone calls to my website. So you're going to get access to Keyword Supremacy so that you can search the global database, which has over 500 million keywords. You're also going to be able to search all the other features like auto suggest, similar, related, and local search of the question database, and you'll be able to do that all unlimited with full club access, and that's a $697 value per year. You're also going to get access to Project Supremacy V3, which is our WordPress management software. So as you're building out multiple sites, you're going to need to manage all those sites, and Project Supremacy V3 is going to help you do that with its WordPress management features. But it is so much more than just that. It is also the software where we do our optimization of our sites, the project planner feature that you've seen in various trainings. That's where we can go in and plan out every page or post of our website, know what keywords we're targeting for every page, know what the data for those keywords are, the CPC, the volume, all the competition data, as well as even the ranking of the keyword that hooks up to your rank tracker. So it includes the managed WordPress features, it includes the optimization plugin features, it includes the rank tracking. It also has a ton of other amazing features like 301 and 404 management, link management, building schema. So you're going to get access to this software, and this is going to help you build out your sites and rank them through proper optimization. The next piece of software you're going to get is Local Supremacy, And what local supremacy is great for is to help you not only sell your sites, but to manage your clients. So a couple of the options with local supremacy, you can, once your site is ranking, you can overlay another client's site right on top of yours before you contact them. That way, when you say, listen, my site is ranking for XX keyword, go check it out, and they go and check it out for you. They click on your listing in Google, but their website loads instead of yours, which is going to amaze them. Another option is, if you don't want to be that aggressive, is you can actually hang a for rent sign on your website so that when you're contacting people and they go check out your rankings for real, they will see that for rent sign. They'll put in their information to get a 5-minute trial of the overlay feature. And if they do want to rent it out, they can seamlessly integrate right into your PayPal account so that they can just rent your site out without you ever really having to talk to them. So local supremacy is an amazing piece of software that's going to help you rent out your site. The final and fourth piece of software is our brand new software called SERP Scout, which is going to help you find the right people that are ranking on pages 2, 3, 4, 5, and beyond, and allow you to scrape Google for a certain keyword. So for instance, if we searched Salt Lake City emergency dentist in SERP Scout, it would find all the people ranking in Google. It would search each of their websites for their email, their phone number, their contact page, their Facebook page, and then give you the ability to contact them with our automated autoresponder that you can follow up with these clients. We'll also give you the ability to generate beautifully hosted reports where in your emails you can send people over to those reports to see what is going on with their websites. We'll show them their rankings, we'll show them their SEO optimization, we'll show them things like they're missing an SSL or a Facebook pixel, an AdWords pixel. There's just all kinds of great stuff that we can configure and just basically mold to their situation, and it's all automated, and it's going to help you prospect for new clients once you have a site ranking in a very, very quick and easy way. So basically, guys, that's the offer. You have two options now that you can choose from, okay? You can either decide to get the software plus the full club access like you see on the left. And if you get everything, guys, that is a $6,894 value. It's just a ton of amazing stuff built into one option. But if you don't want the software, you can choose to get only full club access, which is all the course content only. And that, with the GMB module, with the Rank and Rent module, with the PBN module, is over a $3,900 value. But you guys aren't going to have to pay anywhere near that. Okay, what you can do is you can get full club access on either of the options. If you choose to get all the software with full club access, it is $2,497 for 1 year, and then after that year, it is $197 a month. But if you'd like to just get access to the course content only, that's full club access only. It'll be $14.97 for 1 year, and then $97 a month after that. And you can see, guys, these are real values. Okay, the $6,894 is literally what you would pay if you pieced everything out and bought it on its own. You'd be paying over $6,800 a year. And just with the full club access only, you'd be paying $3,900 a year. But we've reduced that value greatly for you guys into a bundle so that it's $2,400 a year and then $197 a month after that, or $14.97 for the first year and then $97 a month after that. If you guys need a payment plan, we also offer 4-pay payment plans for either option. Overall, they are a little bit more expensive than just the 1-pay, but you can get software and full club access for $697 over 4 payments, and then that would cover you for your full year. After that, it would be $197 a month, of course, after your first year. If you just want access to the full club access course content only, you can get in for $447 over 4 payments, and that will cover your first year. And then, of course, after the first year, it would be $97 a month after that. So a couple common questions that we always get from a lot of our members, and possibly you. Maybe you already own some of our software, or maybe you don't want the software. Either way, it's totally fine. If you already own the software, it's definitely a better offer to get this instead. All you have to do is contact our support team at supremacy.support. Just type that into your browser, or email support@RankAndRent.club and tell them what you have. tell them what you want, and they will construct the best offer for you. And by doing it this way with the bundle of everything, it's definitely cheaper overall. You're going to get more software. If you only own 1 or 2 pieces of our softwares, you're going to actually be upgraded to 4 of our best softwares, and we'll even prorate previous purchases. So if you've purchased something annually within the last little while, we'll prorate what you've already paid for and apply that to your payment. So just contact our support team at support@RankAndRent.club or supremacy.support on your browser. Tell them what you have, tell them what you want, and they will fix you up. So why is the price so low? Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, $2,400 isn't low, but what I'm talking about here is why are we selling $6,800 worth of course software and content for $24.97 a year? There's 3 main reasons, okay? Number 1, since you're getting everything, we're applying a massive bundle discount to it all. That's the biggest reason we're able to do this. Next is that you're already a valued free trial member. You've already had some experience with us. You kind of know what we're like. You kind of know what to expect in the quality of our products and our training. So as a free trial member, we want to offer you an amazing price. And then the third reason is a little bit selfish. We really want your success story because we use our success stories to help others who are trying to decide whether they want to become full club members or not. Them seeing other success stories or your success story is going to help them make that decision. It's going to help them take the leap. So we want your success story as well. So we want you to take advantage of that. So if you guys have any questions about anything, you can just email support@RankAndRent.club, or if you want to use your browser, just go to supremacy.support and you'll be able to contact our support desk with any situation that you have or any questions that you have, and we can get you full club access into RankAndRent.club. That's pretty much it for me, guys. Questions?
Awesome. Had another question come in here, Herc. Someone asked, instead of renting to just one vendor that might get overwhelmed with calls, what about keeping the website and renting out to multiple people that can handle the calls? And that's definitely a more advanced strategy that we can get to inside of the full course access members area. I can show you how to do that. That is something that I do. I don't recommend people start with that. I recommend that you just get one site and one listing at least going and then add from there. But yeah, once your call volume is like hundreds of calls per month or something or more, then yeah, you can absolutely split it out and have multiple people taking your calls. That's a great thing. I'll be showing you guys the actual software and tools that I use in order to get phone numbers and calls. I actually have something brand new, which is sweet, that I've just started using in the last like 2 months. And literally you can get your phone numbers for your GMB for 8 cents per month. No, you didn't mishear that. It is 8 cents per month for a phone number, for a local phone number anywhere in the States, at least. I haven't checked international, but they probably have some international stuff. And it's not even like a penny a minute. It's a fraction of that. So it's super cheap to do the phone side of things.
Okay, Chrissy, can you rank sites without using PBNs, or are they required in order to get a good ranking? No, they're absolutely 100% not required to get a good ranking. PBNs, kind of like I mentioned earlier, are a little bit of risky business. You have to know what you're doing. You have to do it correctly. Otherwise, you risk getting your PBN and your money site de-indexed from Google, never to be seen again. But if you know what you're doing, the power of PBN links is absolutely massive, okay? That's why in both Salt Lake City and then Catering Stamford, Connecticut, which has multiple page 1 rankings, both sites only have 2 links pointing at them from a PBN. Now, part of that, guys, and I teach this inside the course, is really solid on-page optimization. If you are good at choosing the right keywords, meaning when I teach you guys keyword research, I say it has to be easy to rank for and it has to be profitable. If it's profitable but it's hard to rank for, your job is harder. I don't want that for you guys. I call them quick wins. We're looking for niches that have quick wins, meaning it's going to be relatively easy to rank for and it's going to be profitable. Okay, I have a whole checklist for you guys in the resources section that you can follow along when you're choosing your niches. And if you tick all the boxes in that checklist, you have a winner and it will require, if you optimize it correctly, which I also teach optimization using Projects Frenzy V3, if you optimize it correctly, it requires far less links to get your site ranking on page 1. So other options for you, Chrissy, would be social. Go out and build a social profile. So like the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, things like that, and link those back to your site. Another great one that Todd and I are working on, another special deal for you guys, is a press release. And it's an amazing way to get your site some trust and some backlinks. And we're going to be teaming with Chris Munch and Jay Cruz, who just did a $2 million launch of their software service called Amplifier. They're creating a special offer specifically for you guys to go out, instead of paying, I think it was $2,500 for their software, where you can just do one-off purchases for these things called amplifiers, which are omni-channel press releases. The press releases go out to all sorts of media outlets and YouTube channels, videos and stuff like that. So we're going to get you guys a good deal. There's also manual link building. There's all kinds of linking options. It's not required to do PBNs. It's just that they're so damn powerful. So you'll love the PBN module if you do join.
Yeah, just to back up about that press release that Herc was just talking about, we did use that on a site, I guess it was a few months ago, and it works. It worked really well. I bumped it up everywhere. So.
Lois says, when can we start the course I'm in? As soon as you're, oh, she left. Well, she's probably left because you went to go watch videos. So you can start as soon as you buy. Brian asks, how does the club help keep our sites indexed on the first page? It's kind of, so the club directly doesn't do anything for your sites other than, the club is an educational community, right? So I didn't really cover that, guys, but what you're accessing here isn't necessarily just a course, okay? And it's super important for you guys to understand this. A lot of people will sell a course and then that's it. It's over. A year from now, it's outdated. The course becomes useless. What we're selling is access into a community where we're going to continue. My focus is going to go back into Rank and Rent. So I'm going to be building out sites. I have people hired again outside of the software business to help me do the Rank and Rent thing again. We're going to build that side of the business up, and I'm going to be sharing everything that I'm learning, all the new stuff that's changing. I believe Matt has already said that he's going to update some more stuff.
I'll be updating stuff as it goes for sure.
Yeah, so like this isn't a course per se, it's a community. Like you're joining a club. Like it was a joke that I registered RankAndRent.club, but it ended up being the perfect name because that's really what you're going to be a part of, is a club of people that are all doing this, all learning together, using the forum. We have a private, it's off Facebook, it's a private forum. Drama-free forum where people can share their best tips. I just want you to feel like you're part of a group of people that are going to be doing this. Todd's been mentioning he wants to do live events with this, so you're a community. Brian, does the course have any suggested themes for Rank and Rent sites? Yeah, we have it in the resources section. Aveda and Thrive are the two that I love using, but they're both paid. But to be honest, you don't have to do that. You can use free. There's so many free WordPress themes that you can use to make your sites look quite nice, like good enough, you know what I mean? God, good enough is, I hate that word, but honestly, you don't have to spend money on themes if you don't want to, or if you do want that real polished professional look. Just to give you an example, okay, so this is kind of what the catering site looks like now, and you can see it's pretty nice, right? We got the calls to action, really nice. We got a nice design. You don't have to go this far, but when you're making money, you should. Once you rent out one, you should reinvest in your business. Don't go, blow it on whatever you guys blow it on. Take a portion of what you make from your sites, reinvest into better services. Like if you have a site like this, obviously, and someone comes and sees it and you're hanging a for rent sign or something, it shows that you're professional about your business. So reinvesting profits from your first site back into your second, whether it be hiring more content or designers or starting a PBN, whatever, anything that helps elevate the infrastructure of your business is going to make you grow, right? So, but to get started, yes, definitely use a free theme. It's totally fine. Kurt, I'm going to read this one for you, Matt. There seems to be more and more space being taken up by the Google ads in the 3-pack and the guaranteed business. Is Rank and Rent still a good model given that the number of organic positions are becoming more limited?
Yeah, it definitely is. If that ends up being a bigger issue in the future, then it'll just mean you'll probably want to niche down a little bit more. So like a good example is like insulation. That site that I showed you guys is an insulation website. And in the markets that I'm in, actually in most markets that I've looked nationwide, Google Guaranteed is not even in the niche. So, I mean, maybe in time they'll get in that niche, but it may just mean that we'll want to be even choosier in the keyword research phase and finding things that are not having that Google Guaranteed program, or finding ones where there's just not a lot there. But even still, I have some stuff in HVAC, heating and air conditioning, and where there is Google Guaranteed, we still get a ton of phone calls. Clients are still super happy. So I would say, like, you're going to even calls just from, your site being up and it existing because it ranks for long tail, or it ranks in maps near where the person is searching. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. There's so much opportunity out there that, like, it's never going to be like completely shut out to you.
This is a pretty good question, and I answered it in private, but somebody asked, can you build money sites outside of WordPress, like using HTML or Magento? And the answer is absolutely yes, you can. I'll be teaching based on WordPress just because I find WordPress, the CMS of it it's just easy and fast, right? But if you know what you're doing with other builders, you can do it. And then as far as project supremacy and the keyword planning, that aspect of the software, it is a WordPress based tool, so you can't install it on a non-WordPress site, but there are always workarounds for things, guys. And one of them is creating a site plan, okay? Creating a plan and knowing, like this, for example, is the plan for catering Stamford, Connecticut. These are all the 4 pages that I built. I have the title, the URL description, and H1 for each page right here. I know the keywords that I'm targeting for each pages. I can make edits to any of the on-page elements right from this dashboard, and I know where I'm ranking, right? All this stuff is WordPress connected through V3, but if you want to build on HTML or Magento or anything, you can still build a plan over here on a different site for, say, like if I wanted to build catering in a different city, like maybe catering in Texas or something, I could actually just create a new plan on this site and then do everything here, and then just copy and paste out the important optimization elements elsewhere. You won't get the rankings and stuff like that, but you can still get all the keyword data. You can still create your titles and optimizations, and I teach you guys how to do that in the course, like with the word cloud here. So, like, obviously, guys, I'm ranking my homepage. We're ranking for a bunch of keywords, even though I'm only mainly targeting one, but I teach you how to optimize for all groups of keywords. You can still do all that in Project Supremacy, and then just copy and paste everything over. The reason I loaded this up, guys, is because Ron C asked a question. Should I worry about the opportunity being slim if, for example, scarcity due to so many people piling into this model? Okay, and what that really comes down to is math, Ron. So how many niches are there? How many types of businesses are there in a town? So let's say Edmonton, where I live, there's about 1 million people that live here. How many businesses are there in Edmonton? 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, right? There's thousands. There's thousands and thousands. But those same types of businesses exist in the thousands and thousands of other cities all over the world. And now, how many ways do people search for those businesses? Now, here's an example. Paver San Diego, Paver San Diego, Pavers in San Diego, Paver Patio in San Diego, or there's no San Diego there. But there's literally multiple ways to say each word. So, for instance, when we go to the project planner, my main keyword for the live site build on catering Stamford, Connecticut, the main keyword that I went after was catering Stamford, Connecticut, because it had 170 searches a month. But the in title, in URL, you can see the golden ratios showed up here. Only 4 people have that phrase in their title, and in their 3 in the URL. Phrase was 830. I recommend 20,000 or less. Okay, the keyword was baller, and the domain was available. But look at this, Stamford Catering is another way to say it. Look at the competition. It was like literally here, too much. Like this one's showing 9,900 searches a month. We're ranking number 11 right now for that. Catering, Stamford Catering Services, Stamford Caterer, 260. Catering Stamford, Catering in Stamford, Catering Stamford CT, Catering in Stamford CT. Each one of these is an opportunity. So there's thousands of niches, thousands of cities, and hundreds of ways that people search for all these same things. That equates to literally millions and millions of possible niches that you could go into, right? and keywords that you could target. But if you're going to sort through that much data, you need a tool to do it quickly. And that's why I'm showing this real quickly. Okay, and I teach this in the course, how to use this tool of keyword supremacy. And I just did paver, the word paver. Show me niches for the word paver. Paver San Diego, this one. You know, emergency. I could just type in the word emergency like we talked about earlier. Is emergency a good niche to get into? Well, let's take a look. You set your filters. I show you how to do this in the training. Emergency kid dentist, emergency dentist in Chicago, emergency dentist for kids. Like, how great of a sub niche of emergency dentistry for kids, right? And I teach you how to dig into each of these niches and go and find them, like emergency dentists in Omaha, and search volumes, CPCs, competition lookups. I show you how to do it all. There's millions of opportunities out there. People were saying that, you know, rank and rent is getting harder because all the good keywords are taken. No, the process got harder because everyone was using the same process. Well, we developed a tool with an entirely new process, and it uncovered, like, literally, guys, every time I go and search, like, I can search for a city, like San Antonio, right? I don't know what niches I want to get into, but I know I want to go to San Antonio. I even teach you about what population of cities to get into. Divorce attorneys, home inspectors, water softeners, pediatric dentists, sanitary dentists, roofing, culinary schools, accident lawyers, cool sculpting. It is unending. The opportunities for you guys to find niches to build rank and rent sites is literally wide open. You just need the right tool and the right process. And we're doing that for you. That's why we have the training. That's why we have the software, so that you guys can follow our processes. And we teach you how to go through a list this big of niches just in San Antonio and be able to tell by just doing a few quick glances, this is an easy win. This is an easy win. This is an easy win. Your problem isn't going to be finding a niche or a niche. Your problem is going to be deciding on which one to go for. And I even have a lesson on that, how to pick 5, analyze the 5 against each other, and decide which of those 5 that look amazing is the most amazing. Let me tell you something about scaling right now. I'll tell you this right now. If this works, if I build a site for San Antonio Culinary School, if I build a site and it ranks and it works and I rent it out, what scaling is going to be, guys, and I'll teach you the lesson, is taking the same idea, the same project, because you're going to go and you're going to build a project like this. You're going to say, I'm going to have a home page, I'm going to have a halal page, a breakfast page, and a wedding page, right? Well, I'm just going to change the city. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I already have the perfectly successful template. I'm just going to do it again in a different city. And you'll be faster and better at it because you're just copying a template that works. That's how you're going to scale horizontally. I'll teach you other tricks about how to leverage your clients into more sales, but stuff like that. It's like, it is wide open. It is a great opportunity to learn SEO, to expand into agency SEO and affiliate marketing, learn the fundamentals, but you have all the tools to be able to do it with. Like, it's good. I 100% stand behind the price. It's crazy good. I'm not going to talk about AdSense sites, Ron, really. I mean, I've done that in the past for sure, but we want to really focus on rank and rent. When you understand how to rank a site, and a rank and rent site is the same process as an affiliate site or as an AdSense site, you just have to be better at your processes, and you have to do a little bit more work for those types of sites because they're more competitive, but the work is the same. So if you can do a rank and rent site, and if you've never ranked a site, you're going to feel so freaking excited, guys, when you go and you follow this and you build a site and you get it ranking on the first page. You're going to feel so excited, and you do it again and again, and you're going to get confident. When you get confident, everything changes. Everything changes. Remember, guys, this is a community. It's not a course. It's not a one-stop shop. Well, it is a one-stop shop kind of, but it's not a place that, you know, you come to and you leave and you never come back. You keep coming back. You keep getting updated. That's why we're going to do monthly training webinars, the journey parts of the forums, all the stuff we've talked about on this webinar is to, like, keep you engaged, keep you focused, to keep the distractions of all the other models out there kind of at bay. This is what I really believe people should be focusing on. If you've done SEO and you haven't had results, if you've done affiliate and you haven't had results, the reason why is you haven't learned the core fundamentals yet. We'll teach you the core fundamentals. We'll give you the tools that make it easy. And once you learn it, the world's your oyster from there. I kind of did it backwards. I started with an agency, which was stupid and hard, but I made it work. But I've gone backwards. Rank and Rent's better. It's easier to build an agency off successful rank and rents than it is off just going out and getting clients. Yeah, we've had a lot of past webbies. Look, and I mean, what I just said too about like once you learn the fundamentals, you can go build AdSense sites. Like the keyword research abilities and keyword supremacy are retarded. So finding keywords with high CPCs to go build AdSense websites for, no problem. Because you got all the data, right? You got the tool. He says, thanks for more detailed answer, Herc. Love, much love, but non-strictly homo. Strictly non-homo. No problem. John, I think I answered you. Is the local supremacy including some sort of overlay? Yeah, so that was this example. So there's a couple different options for overlays that we teach. One is to hang a for rent sign. So like we get this page ranking, and what you do is hang a for rent sign and then target a client and start sending them all the leads so that when they come and visit your site, they see this, right? Or the other option is just overlay the site completely, kind of like this. So Catering Stamford, Connecticut, what you're seeing behind this box is the Catering Stamford, Connecticut site. But when you put in the homepage URL, you see David's Barbecue. That's because it's overlaid completely. Like it's undetectable that there's something else there. So when you send your client, you know, when you target Dinosaur Barbecue and you start sending them leads and you say, I own Catering Stamford, Connecticut, and he comes and visits it, he's gonna be like, why is my site here? And then when he visits your rankings, like you show him the rankings and he goes and he checks on those rankings, right? Like this. This is what he's gonna do. You're gonna say, look, I ranked number 11 for this, or well, by the time you message him, you'll be ranking on the first page, right? So you'll send him the rankings or the leads. Oh, you Google Capture, you're ticking me off. Lights. Are those traffic lights? I don't know. No. Okay, so say you were on page 3, right? I believe right now I'm on number 11, so we'll go to page 2. And you send him the leads. He starts getting leads from you. You say, listen, I own this site. I'm ranked at this. So he goes to Google. He checks it out. He clicks on your site. And lo and behold, when it loads, his site loads. Who's doing that? Who's doing that? Who's selling like that? Like that's so stealthy, right? It's a software, David, that's included in the if you buy the whole thing, you get that software included. There is a plugin, but that just helps you connect. But you get a dashboard as well to manage all your clients. David, we don't actually sell local supremacy is $1,000 plus 57 a month, and we don't have it for sale publicly. We sold that privately on webinars. So that's what like when we're telling you guys the values of these softwares and telling you that this is a good deal, we really truly mean it. Okay, we really truly mean it. These are, you can go to the sales pages and see what the cost of these things are, and you'll see they're the same as what we've outlined on these pages where we're showing you the values of stuff. So we're not just willy-nilly coming up with these values. Like, no, if you want to go buy this on its own, it'll be like Keyword Supremacy Unlimited with Global Database, $697 a year. Project Supremacy V3 Pro version, $967 a year. Local Supremacy, $1,000 initiation fee and $57 a year. So like you're literally getting $3,000 worth of software. Time frame for getting all the accounts set up after payment, immediate. We had our developers build a custom script that when you join, will fire access into all 4 softwares and send you emails from all 4 softwares, your logins, everything you need. Oh man, there's more questions in again. Gabriella, can you duplicate a niche in a different city? 100%. Yes, I talked about that a little earlier on the webinar. It's in the scaling section. You not only can you should. You should. If you get a site ranked in a city for a niche and you're renting it out and you're getting success with it, you definitely have a template for success and you should copy that template into a different city. Brad, what kind of budget do you recommend for launching a new site? Low comp, medium comp? We only go after low comp. We don't go after medium comp. That's what I teach you guys. We want you to have quick wins. In the resources section, there is a checklist that you should follow, and you should follow every step of it. So right here, rank and rent niche selection checklist. If you're going through and you're choosing a niche and it doesn't meet any of the criteria laid out for you in this checklist, don't do it. It's not an easy win. I want you guys going after sites that are easy to rank for, but highly profitable. So low comp, medium comp, forget about medium comp. We're going after low comp, okay? And then the budget, to answer that question, you need about $50 for hosting and domain registration. And then I'd say you need about $100 for content if you hire writers. I use iWriter, $20 per article, 1,000 words for $20. That's up to you though, if you have a better writer. But the budgets are pretty low. A $200 budget is extremely healthy for a rank and rent site. Todd, you want to have any other thoughts to add?
You know, I think that one of the important pieces that you mentioned earlier was that, you know, we envision this, and not only do we envision this, but we know that this is going to be a community of people helping people as we grow over time. And, you know, that's a big part of why, you know, we built the forum and we built a membership site. We didn't just, you know, give you a site with 10 videos and a few PDFs. We want to build a community, and we want everyone in there, you know, mixing it up and sharing your ideas and your thoughts. And let's all do this together. Herc and I are all in on this. We know that, you know, this is what we need to be doing. We need to be ranking sites and, you know, showing people how to make money by doing that. We have now completed what I consider to be the masterpiece of software in order to do this effectively and easily and understandably. I don't think a lot of you, you know, have really wrapped your mind around the value in keyword supremacy, because it's just another freaking keyword tool, right? Well, this one isn't. If you watch some of the training that Herc's done on that, and get in there and just follow along with his thought process on how to find these niches and how to find these keywords that are easy to rank for. And how do I know that? Because we just freaking did it. In the last 60 days, Herc has built 2 sites. I believe the only outlay of money was the content. Not a big deal, less than $100, I believe. And they're already ranking, already getting calls. So, you know, we have some reservations of renting out these case study sites, because we know that some people can jack around with them and do that kind of stuff. But as Herc mentioned, we may do that anyway, and just let the owner know that, hey, you may get some crank calls. Just bear with me on that and give you a deal. We are going to be building other sites that will not be made public. Now, we are going to share you know, results of those sites and income of those sites, but we're probably going to blur out some URLs and stuff to protect a lot of that stuff. And you guys are going to benefit from.
Yeah, I want to state that I'm definitely going to do that, guys. As I'm making sales again, I'll report like what's happening, right? Because remember, I'm just getting back into Rank and Rent, and I've asked this. I want to say this, Todd. Sorry, just to interrupt.
Go for it.
People have asked me, and this question hasn't come up on this webinar, but I want to take. I want to be forward with you guys. I want to like be very honest with you guys. I want you to know that everything's up and up on this. So a lot of people have asked me, well, how many, you know, do you still have sites that you're renting out and in the sales and all that prospect? And the honest answer is, guys, is number one, yes, I do. Okay, but it's not many. And the reason why is because, like I said, I dropped my Rank and Rent business to go into the software development business with Todd. Because when Todd and I released Project Supremacy, it was like, holy shit, this is awesome, right? But then 5 years later, we're doing so good together. I kept my focus on building these softwares with Todd, and I didn't do anything Rank and Rent. But now that this is back, I have 6 Rank and Rent properties on the go. One is a Goliath, by the way. It's more like a brand site, and I'll share results with you guys and processes that I'm using with you guys as I'm building those sites. But on those sites, the real private ones, I will not share the URLs or the keywords. I'm happy to share live case study sites with you guys, but the ones that I try to sell, I'll only update you on if they're sold or not and their rankings and stuff like that, but not keywords and stuff like that. So I just want to be honest with you guys. I think it's important for me personally for you guys to know, so that nobody says, well, you know, you're teaching, you don't know what you're doing. I do know what I'm doing. I still have sites rented. It's not as many as it was, but I'm back on it. I'm back in the trenches. I'm building sites with you guys again. I've hired people to help me with this. So we're going to go. It's going to be go, and I'm going to be right there with you. And that's important for you guys to know. All right,
Yeah,
that's it. I
definitely.
just want to.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for reiterating that. And Herc and I have talked about exactly what he just said, and exactly what I'm telling you. And this is going to be, our primary focus. Obviously we still will be making the softwares better, and that's primarily, my duty, my job is to keep my eyes on that and keep my eyes on, what problems people are having and what kind of solutions can I provide to those problems. That's kind of what I focus on. And Herc's focusing on, getting these sites ranked and then, getting them sold and generating some income reports and stuff like that, and then sharing everything with you, just like we said. We just can't think of an easier way to, make money online. That's no bullshit. And if you think it is bullshit, go back and read the case studies again. And it's easy, guys. It's easy. Keyword supremacy gives you the exact keywords that will rank, provided you understand, and I didn't get to this earlier, but the project planner inside of V3. Some people maybe don't have V3. A lot of you do have V3, and you've never really used a project planner. And we have been over and over and over again since the beginning of Project Supremacy. And guys, the project planner was the beginning of Project Supremacy. That's why it's called Project Supremacy, is because of this right here. And if you don't, you just really need to understand how important and how valuable that project planner is, and how you build your sites and the thought process that goes into that. And Herc's there's more videos inside the members area, again, of Herc detailing very, very, you guys know how detail oriented Herc is. And he goes over and over again on how to build these small 4-page sites, find the 4 best keywords, and boom, they will start ranking. It's just as easy as that. Pick the right words. As far as content goes, Herc has already nailed that down as well. It's already in the members area. It shows you exactly what to do, how to hire the right person and how to get the content on the page. Use this project planner right here. All these keywords start ranking, and just look at the rankings. And these sites are brand new. A couple of links, maybe some social stuff, your typical basic off-page SEO that, let's face it, guys, all of you guys know, I should say most of you guys know exactly what to do to rank a site. Like, it hasn't changed very much over the years. I know there's always new and latest and greatest information and new posts about Google this and Google that, but you know what? We didn't follow any of that really. Art mainly relied on what he's known for years, what I've known for years. And then we just use our tools to do exactly that. And it works. And it's working over and over and over again. So I can't think of an easier way to rank a site on page 1 and then contact business owners, which would be just, if they're ranking on page 2, 3, or 4, there's no reason why they're going to give you a lot of flack for you contacting them and say, hey, I got a site on page 1 in your industry that's getting leads. Do you want it? And I'll make you, a fair deal on it, right? Just like I was saying earlier, the dentist site for $1,000 a month would be a steal for anyone, and just proof right there in the calls. So these sites are easy to rank. It's still local. Local businesses all need leads, or they wouldn't have a website, right? They wouldn't be ranking on page 2. We've given you countless ways, not countless, but several ways of reaching out to these business owners and letting them know. I think Search Scout is one great way. You can email them and let them know what's going on. You can export that data file and just contact them all on the phone. That works as well. Local supremacy, I know that when Herc was demonstrating that earlier in the webinar, I saw a lot of wows and holy shits, that's cool, because that is cool. Being able to overlay someone else's site on top of your site ranking number 1. Now that they will love, because it's their brand, it's their logo, it's their name, it's their everything, it's just your ranking. So don't discount local supremacy at all. That is a massively ingenious piece of software. Hanging the for rent sign. Hey, someone test it out. Herc did that. If you want to go watch that again, go ahead. But so yeah, we know that we've given all the tools to find, build, rank, and rent.
And the last thing I'll say, guys, is hold your horses. So, and it's going to go like this. I've had people ask me, how many sites can you build in a week and how many sites can you build in a day? And to those people, I kind of answer it like this. It's like, do not get ahead of yourselves, guys. Stay within your limits here. Build one, rank one first, okay? Don't try and take on 10 sites right away. And it's going to be hard for a lot of people because especially when you go through keyword supremacy and you start finding niches, you're going to find a lot, okay? You're going to find a lot. You're going to start getting excited. You're going to want to, I'm going to buy this domain. I'm going to buy this domain. I'm going to start building them all. Don't do that. Try your best not to do that, guys. Build one, get one under your belt, then move on to the next one. There's a lot of moments when you're doing this process where you're going to have a period of breathing time. For instance, I can go find a niche, build a website, do my project plan, and get my core pages set up all in a single day. But then I have to order the content from the writers, right? And that takes like 2 or 3 days to come in. And then once the content's in, I have to wait a little bit before I start backlinking. So in those off times, then you can start maybe going and tackling a second site. But I do not recommend that you try and build ahead of your pace. Just hold your horses, do things right, do them slow. You'll get results. You will. Don't try and bite off more than you can chew just because you get excited. There's a lot of software. There's a lot of things to learn with the software. The thing I'll say about that, don't try and go learn all the softwares and all the features of every software that we're going to give you right away. You don't need to do that. What you need to do is stick to the training. Stick to the training. Take it one step at a time and learn the feature of the software that I'm teaching you at the point of the build that you're in. And over time, by doing that and following the process, you will learn all the software. Okay, so you don't have this daunting job right up front of, oh my God, I have to learn all the features of all the softwares right away. That's not the way it works. You need to learn keyword supremacy global database feature in this step. You need to learn the project planner in this step. You need to learn local supremacy setup in this step. Okay, it's going to be one thing at a time. So take it slow. Don't get too excited. Like, get excited, but don't get too excited and purchase like 40 domains. Be realistic. The reason I'm saying this, guys, is I work with Bob Perot, who does a lot of work with us, and I'm teaching him, and he's just a go-getter, man. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna do this and this and this and this, and it's just like, Bob, slow down. Like, please slow down. And even the other girl I hired, her name is Trish. I'll teach her a lesson, and she's so excited that she'll go and build this like big project plan and just like way overthink and way overdo it. And the people that I have worked with me personally, I continually find myself needing to rein them in. It's exciting, and I get that. And especially when you're getting these results, it's exciting. Like Trish, I had her do this for her. She works for another company, a landscape big company in Edmonton. I showed her how to use the project planner. She had them ranking on page 1 just by re-optimizing their pages more correctly. And she just wanted to go, 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 go. And it's like, Trish, just like slow down, take it easy. Follow the training, guys. Follow the training and learn as you go. And over time, that's where you'll just turn into this like behemoth and know how to do things. For me, it's fast, right? Because I know I built the damn softwares like with Todd, right? So I know what I need to do. But for you guys, just follow the training, learn the feature that you need to learn right now, and over time you'll learn everything, and you'll come to realize that the software package that you guys have available to you is so powerful. It's so powerful. You'll learn new tricks all the time. You come on those training webinars, you'll learn new tricks all the time. You'll just continue to grow. It's a community. It's a community. It's a community. So roll with the punches. Hopefully post your results for everyone else to see. I would love to see you guys on the webinar today, actually. This is something I want to say. One more thing. Okay, I put this other post as I'm talking about this. It's so important. And have you begun yet? Okay, I wanted to show this to you guys. Last thing. This is my last notes. Okay, Lonray, who watched our live build, so webinars live build. It was a 3.5-hour webinar where I built cateringstanfordconnecticut.com on the webinar. I even found the niche on the webinar and registered the domain on the webinar. The site that I built after watching the training webinar is now on page 1. For me here in Jamaica, it's number 6. Vince, I built one rank and rent site from Herc and Todd's 2015 course, and I'm currently renting it out. I want you guys to post these stories. So if you guys go watch the live build, if you start building, go to the forum, post your journeys. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it, and I want to help you. That's the other thing about posting your journey. Okay, if you're posting your journey in the forum and you come up against a roadblock or a wall, so right here, I'm going to keep pointing this out to you guys. If you post in the journey part, build it, like say you make a new topic and you're like building a a catering site in a certain city or whatever. You don't have to give away your niche. And then you're like, hey, Herc, I'm having trouble with this or this. I will respond to you here. I will help you here. So will other members. Okay, but if you take it slow and you follow the training, you're going to get results. And don't be overwhelmed. Okay, we're trying to do everything we can to make everything as simple and as logical to follow as possible. So just do what we say, and then once you know what you're doing, do whatever you want, and you'll get results.
All right, guys, everybody enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it, and thanks to all the people that joined us up already. I was just looking at that earlier, and it's awesome. It's awesome. We'll see you guys on the inside. Take care. Bye.
Talk to you later, guys. Bye.